Park and Go, family owned and operated.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios. The Cody and Gold Garage Sale, Tuesday, June 20th, with items for auction up at 610sports.com, benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. 610 Sports Radio. KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
Good morning, everyone. I am not Nick Schwartz. I am the one and only Kramer Sansa, meeting the ones and twos today, as Nick is still in Paris. Today we'll discuss Travis Kelce will never hang it up. The Kansas City Royals are the worst team in Major League Baseball. Stefon Diggs is put on a milk carton, and baby Gronk. And now the two most famous people here in Kansas City, Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
Did Patrick Mahomes go out of town?
What happened to Mahomes? What happened to Kelce?
They went out of town.
What happened to Andy Reid?
They did Royals night, and then they ditched. You know? We'll take the win. Where do you think you rank amongst most famous people in
rank.
Kansas City?
We don't rank.
No, but how far down would they have to rank it for you to rank?
A very far way down.
Like 200?
I don't know if it's 200.
Okay, see, that's not that far
down.
down.
If we're being honest, actually, it is probably. You got all 53 players on the Chiefs.
You're more famous than all 53. You're more famous than, like, the third offensive lineman. Come on.
I'm not so sure.
Dude, come on.
All right, so 25 players on the Chiefs, plus plus about 7 Royals players.
Anybody who works in local television has
Anybody that's on TV. Anybody that's on TV. Then local actors, comedians.
Sudeikis, Rudd. Anybody who's ever performed in a big slick.
Cody,
we're done there.
It's a little ways down the list.
It might be 400 or 500.
About top 150.
Because, like, also famous business people have us beat. It's not like more people don't know who John Sherman is than us.
Yeah, it's a ways down. It's a ways down, Cody. I think you were trying to be like, it's actually not that bad. Like, no, it is bad. It is bad.
You might be one of the 400 most famous people in this city.
That's right.
That doesn't sound that bad when you think about how many people are in this city, you know?
That's what we're going to do because it's so slow in the summertime. We're going to do our top 400 most known people.
You're going to come in at 398.
Yeah, we're going to
really
do that
work our way down the
leading up
list.
to the start of the Chiefs season. We're doing the 400 most recognizable people in Kansas City.
We're not even, we would be.
We'll start at 400 and we'll get ourselves out of the way very easily, very quickly.
Yeah. We'd be lower on the list than the other 3 hosts at this station. They've been doing it quite a bit longer.
Chiefsaholic is ranked much, much higher. Chiefsaholic might have vaulted to the top 50.
X Factor might be more famous than us.
Yeah.
God, is X Factor more famous than us? Bleak times, man.
I
but
think
you know
so.
what? For bad reasons.
Yeah.
Look at it that way. We don't want to be famous for the reasons Chiefsaholic's famous for, or for the reasons that X Factor's famous for. Because anymore, those guys aren't famous for being super fans. They're famous for other things, you know? So, got to take the win where we can get it.
Appreciate it, though, Kramer. 913-586-7610. Jay Southland, tow service, text line. You heard him mention Travis Kelce, though, who spoke yesterday to the media, and he was asked about something, really, that you and I have gone back and forth on for a while, and it had to do with how long is he going to play? How's he feeling? He's playing at such a high level still, and when is this thing going to ever end?
Till the wheels fall off, baby. I love this game, man. I know I'm going to miss it when I'm done playing, but it's I hear you on that, and that's a business decision I'm sure I'll have to make at some point in my life. But for right now, I'm in this building wanting to win football games, man.
He's 33 years old. He'll be 34 during this season, fairly early, I think, October or something. Yeah, October is when his birthday will turn 34 years old. And we know he has put together 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He led the team in targets this past season. He continues to play at an extremely high level, and he has put himself firmly atop the all-time great list for tight ends. There's a few holdouts still, I think, that want to see if he can do this for another couple of years. But I think now with 2 rings and now putting himself in really special company in the postseason as well. We mentioned this last week, actually, we were talking about, somehow Dusty and I got onto the topic about looking at Kelce's postseason performance, and he's got the 16 receiving touchdowns, 133 postseason catches, almost 1,600 yards, and he surpassed Gronk for that, and now only Jerry Rice, who's the greatest wide receiver of all time, has more receptions and receiving yards and touchdowns in the postseason. So even if you're holding out on that, okay, well, he has a chance to surpass that with this football team that goes to the postseason every year. As far as like till the wheels fall off, I think as he acknowledged at the end, though, does it get more challenging if you're starting to feel more banged up, if all of a sudden there's more off-the-field opportunities as time goes on?
Look, I do think that part could make it easier for the transition. How successful the New Heights podcast has been, how successful he's been commercially here lately. He's found other revenue streams. He's found other things to be a part of, right? Whether it be the celebrity golf tournament this summer, right? He's got a chance. He's got a chance to increase the likelihood of leaving. But I believe the very first thing he said, he got asked, do you think about the end? Like, how long do you think you'll be playing? And his answer was, till the wheels fall off. And I understand that he was more banged up than he was at any point last year. Meanwhile, he played every single game. Yeah, his back was a little tight before a playoff game that he played. Like, I'm having a hard time right now thinking the wheels are falling off anytime soon. This gave me a little more confidence that the timeline I think you had given or Nick had given or we had just heard other people suggest, which is like, I don't know, man. He might be, I'd lock it 2 years.
Yeah, after age 35 season.
I still think there's a good chance he's going to be here for 4 years, 5 years, and play till Tony Gonzalez's age. Tony Gonzalez was 38 or 39 years old when he had finally decided to leave football. And the hardest part right now, I think that will be tough for Kelce to walk away from and was tough for Jason Kelce to walk away from. Jason Kelce had rumors around retiring the entire year. He is still one of the best sinners in the entire NFL. Travis Kelce is still the best tight end in the entire NFL by a pretty wide margin. That is when you are that great, it is hard to walk away. Look at the guy you mentioned before in Jerry Rice. Not easy to walk away when you are that great.
My question, if he's going to play for another 4 years, another 5 years, and when you're talking about him playing to the same age that Tony Gonzalez played, is Travis Kelce at some point, because I still don't think at age 38 he's having 1,200, 1,300-yard seasons. I just don't. The targets that he's getting right now, 152, unless there is some, I guess, offloading of the workload. You know, do we see this year more use out of the 4 tight ends that they keep on the roster, Noah Gray or Jody Fordson? Do we see them try to keep that in mind? Because I think if you want him to still be playing at a decent level at age 37, then I do think you can't continue on a trend of having 152 targets every season.
Because Tony Gonzalez...
I'm not sure. You're not sure either. I'm not sure. Of course not. I don't think that is something that can continue for him.
I think that he can. I would say that you're probably being a little safer in playing the long game if you do it the way you're talking about. But like, I go back to Tony Gonzalez because it is legitimately the only player's career that we can compare it to, right? That's it. There's no other person to compare this to. It doesn't make sense. At age 33, Travis Kelce's current age, he had 134 targets. The next 4 years, with the final 4 years of his NFL career, up to age 37 and through his age 38 year, 134 targets, 108, 116, 124, and 121. So, yeah, he's never had the amount of targets that Travis Kelce had. Well, he's not the tight end Travis Kelce is. He's better. Travis Kelce will continue to do those things. He managed to do that through the end of his career, and he played at age 33, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 16 games in every single one of them.
Yeah,
I think that's where Kelce is headed. Yeah. I don't see any reason to think he'll ever miss a game, that he want to miss seasons, that he won't keep staying here.
Yeah, I mean, the track record shows it's not going to happen. Anytime we talk about this, I always point out, too, it's not just that playing to 37, you got to add on an extra year off of postseason games. He's basically played, by the time he already is there, by the way, with the amount of, how many postseason games has Travis Kelce played? He's almost played an extra season.
I don't know. I mean, how many did Tony Gonzalez play? It couldn't have been that many.
Well, that was the whole issue. In Kansas City, Gonzalez never had chances to play in the postseason.
Occasionally. He just didn't, you know how it is. He didn't...
My point being is I think Kelce, I don't know if he's already there, but basically he's going to play an extra full season of postseason games.
Tony Gonzalez played in 7 postseason games. Yeah. Travis Kelce done that in the last 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Kelce will. So if
he's knocked that out in no time.
So that's the only thing, just in terms of where if we're talking about wear and tear there. Now on the front end, Kelce was hurt in his career, so he didn't play as many games early in his career. Yeah. So what's that balance out to? I don't know. That's probably like a sports science type of figuring out exactly
18
what the
postseason games, by the way.
So he's played an extra season. He's played an extra season of postseason games so far in his career.
Yeah. Whatever age season you think he's in, he's played a whole extra season.
Which is wild. I think the other part to factor in just how long could he actually play, Cody, is how close does he get to that tight end receiving yard record? We know he's at like 10,340 or something like that. Gonzalez is a little over 15,000. So he's about 4,700 yards or so away.
Which is about 4 or 5 years.
So if he's playing at a high level, but is he willing to play? I know you think he's going to, every single year of his career, have over 1,000 yards now the rest of the way.
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. But like,
there's just zero evidence to support the other side.
Well, zero evidence to support the other side is just that overall, Travis Kelce at some point isn't going to be a 1,000-yard receiver if he played forever. So,
by the way, including this postseason, I just quickly did the math because you mentioned it. Tony Gonzalez at this point in his career, including the postseason, had played in 213 NFL games. Travis Kelce, at the exact same age, including postseason games, has played in 161. 50 less games. He's played the equivalency of 4 full less seasons. At this stage, for 3 full less seasons as Tony Gonzalez. That's another reason why I think there's no reason to think that his body can't hold up. I know age also hurts you. Like, your back might hurt more in the morning than it did when you were 23.
Sure. No, what I was trying to say before that, though, was just that if we're looking at how close does he get, is he willing to, even if he's 37, and let's say he's 900 yards away, but the year before he did drop off, Cody. I know you think it won't happen, but he did drop off. Is he willing to hang on, I guess is the question. Is he willing to hang on for an extra year or two just for the record? How important is that to him? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And so that to me will dictate part of whether or not he plays till he's 37 or 38. Is how badly does he want that record?
I don't know.
How many years does it take to get to that?
Look, I mean, I think right now you could already make the argument, and I would, that he's the single greatest tight end to ever play. I understand that he doesn't have the final counting stat of the total yardage.
Right.
He has literally every other stat in his favor other than, I guess he's second in touchdowns, but he's got way more yards than Gronk. So Gronk was better at scoring touchdowns, but not a better overall tight end. Gronk had, how many rings did Gronk get? 4?
I think that's right.
So, but again, it's tight end.
Right.
We don't count rings with tight ends when we're talking about greatness. We just don't. That's not how we talk about, like, the greatest offensive lineman of all time. We don't be like, how many rings does the next best guy? We don't do that. We don't do that with positions other than quarterback, right? Like, unless we're talking about their chances to be in the Hall of Fame. We don't talk about them we don't compare Jerry Rice's Super Bowl total to whoever else's now. He also won. Like, he did both, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any question. He's going to, if he hasn't already, he's going to end up being the greatest tight end of all time. But I think we just know there's always going to be people that will point to the all-time stats. And if you want to just leave zeroed out for anybody, where there's literally no argument, well, then you just be first in every damn category. Yeah. And that's why I'll be curious if we fast forward 3 years from now, and if he's pacing towards that number and surpassing the Gonzalez number, is he, even if he's thinking...
Will he hang on just to beat it? Maybe. It would take 4 or 5 years to do it.
I know that, and you're right, history so far of what Kelce has done is on your side, Cody, of, hey, well, he's had 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. But there are also, we just know it's like, all it takes, unfortunately, is one setback, and the whole trajectory is different. You know, he's been very, very fortunate.
Yeah, it's just harder. It's harder to put that on him because of how consistently he's played. Like you and I have talked about that with like people are like Cody hates Kadarius Toney. I'm like, no, he just hasn't been on the field.
No,
much.
I don't think it's Toney. I think it's Sky Moore that we joke with you. We think you don't like Sky Moore.
I mean, it's fine, I guess. I hope he gets better.
No, someone texted that in yesterday.
Oh,
we weren't even talking about Sky Moore. We were talking about receivers, and they're like, why does Cody hate Sky Moore? It was like a very quick passing comment you made. We weren't even talking about Sky Moore. You weren't even, it was just something that
we were just talking about other players we talk about.
Under
talked about players.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned Richie James, and people got offended that I had mentioned Sky Moore's conversation in
That's how it came up yesterday.
Doesn't matter. But, I mean, I understand this notion, but I still think he's going to play forever.
Yeah, I think to help him out a little bit, I really would like
lower
to see
the target number.
Target number. I would like. You got 4 tight ends on the damn roster. Use Jody Forts and Noah Gray a little bit more. Maybe if you want to extend this thing out as long as you think they can, with him individually.
Feels like having better wide receivers would help that.
That also
just gonna toss that out there.
But also, again, if you're going to keep as many damn tight ends as they do.
Then use them sometimes. Yeah, for sure. I just told you that I like Noah Gray in the upcoming season, so maybe we can get a yardage total on him to bet the over. Maybe give me a yardage total on Noah Gray before the season starts.
I mean, maybe. Maybe.
Seems unlikely.
He had what, 298 or something?
299. Feels like he might make the list. Mm-hmm. Just a hair short. Hey, right before the show ended, we were still speculating about the Stefon Diggs thing.
Yeah.
Josh Allen talked, and I don't feel like it helped me get any more clarity on the situation. Did anyone feel differently? This is what Josh Allen had to say about Diggs.
Oh, I know internally we're working on some things, not football related, but Steph, he's my guy. I excuse my, I love him.
Okay, I don't know why everyone's talking about him on the Bills like he died or something. That's how everyone on the Bills is talking about him, like, oh, really concerning. Or he's like in serious trouble or something. The comments coming out of there make it clear that it's one thing. It is personal. It is not money related, Gold. This is something with Stefon Diggs is unhappy with someone in that building, and they've yet to work out the personal beef between him and Allen, him and McDermott, him and ownership. I don't know who it is he's having a beef with.
I think it's multiple people.
But it is more than, it is clearly related to that, right? That's what it feels like we learned yesterday.
Which is as much a mess of that is for a contending team. I do think it is fixable. I do think if we're still asking, is Stefon Diggs playing wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills week 1? Yes. But it's definitely an offseason distraction. It's one that I think you appreciate what Andy Reid and the Chiefs have been able to do even more whenever you see stuff like this pop up. Not only are they winning championships, but they've been able to just put together such a great group that gets along seemingly and has no issues with each other. And if they do, they sure as hell do a great job of making sure nobody has any clue that there are any problems. It's very easy when you're winning and egos get involved there and like this, but because that to me is also what this is with Stefon Diggs. He kind of at the end of his time in Minnesota, he wanted a new contract, but he also just became unhappy all of a sudden. He just didn't like some of the coaching staff and the way things were going in Minnesota. It seems like he's starting to feel that way up in Buffalo, but the dude just got a $100 million extension last offseason for this very same football team. And Josh Allen, I know we can nitpick. We're in Kansas City where we have the best quarterback in the league. But Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback. It could be much worse for you, Stefon Diggs. Could be way worse.
Do you think he's upset about that? Like he's upset about because he posted classic cryptic offseason tweet from a wide receiver yesterday.
I think it's probably a mix of coaching and maybe not even as much Josh Allen as just the coaching. I bet you the comment from Sean McDermott yesterday saying he's very concerned probably pissed him off.
Well, I assumed his Instagram post was about that because it said it referenced Big Dog. Normally we would apply that to a boss, right? Big Dog's the boss. He said, I just be letting people cap. If them lies help you sleep, better tell them, Big Dog. That feels like it's at McDermott, right? I don't who else am I supposed to assume this is about? Now, look, it's cryptic tweet season. It's cryptic Instagram post season. And you and I have diagnosed a number of them over the years. But it stinks of infighting. And that is, you have to have Stefon Diggs for success on this team. He is massively important to the Bills' season this year. What are they offensively without Stefon Diggs? And the answer is, someone pulled the numbers and just now they're nitpicking because Josh Allen became a better quarterback. But Josh Allen's stats with and without Stefon Diggs, ooh.
Well, Stefon Diggs, we were just talking about Kelce, 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Stefon Diggs had 5 of them. So I mean, he's paid like a top 3 wide receiver, and he's one of the better.
He's played like it.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. Obviously, guys like Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill, you'll put ahead of him, Devontae Adams. But after that, Stefon Diggs is probably the 8th best, 7th best wide receiver
he's in the top
football.
10. I think I made this mistake. Was it Diggs we were talking about?
No, Keenan Allen. Well, you were saying you said there's 20 more wide receivers,
20 better wide receivers than Keenan Allen.
This was a year ago before, and we
now that I'm hearing it again, kind of sounds right. I feel like there are 20 wide receivers better than Keenan Allen.
Well, maybe now there is. Do you want to try naming 19? But that was the issue we gave you a hard time with because you said there's 20.
Could you even name 19 NFL wide receivers?
I think you got to 12. We're like, and
it starts getting tough. Well, especially guys you can name off the top of your head as being better than them.
No, Keenan Allen is definitely in danger, and he's probably not in that category anymore. Now,
so you mocked me, and now you're agreeing with me.
You said it before last season that he wasn't. And this past season,
but I was right. He wasn't.
He played in. Oh, you predicted that he was going to only play in 10 games?
That's fair.
You predicted he was only going to play in 10 games?
That was an accurate take.
Well,
he was not a top 20 wide receiver at that time.
Well, when you said it, he had gone to 4 straight Pro Bowls and had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That's why we were.
1,000-yard for a wide receiver.
But the problem is, this past year only played 10 games and had 750 yards receiving.
Embarrassing, really, when you think about it. It was Keenan Allen. I was like, which wide receiver? I was like, I got to tread lightly here because I can't remember if it was Stefon Diggs I took down, which doesn't seem like it. But it felt like it was one of those wide receivers that everybody doesn't agree is definitively top 5. So I better be like Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, the ones that nobody's arguing.
We mentioned Jamar Chase there. We were talking about wide receivers. We know his quarterback, Joe Burrow, acknowledged yesterday that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
I don't think there's any argument right now. It's Pat. Tell somebody until somebody has a better year than he's had, he's the one to knock off.
And I said after we played that yesterday, I said, the good thing is now there'll be other silly takes that are out there during the season, but now nobody can. I thought nobody.
Joe Burrow ended this conversation.
Nobody can even argue after what Patrick Mahomes did who the best quarterback in football is. Like, you'd have to be completely insane. You'd have to be a moron. You'd have to be a complete idiot. And then I saw this come across the timeline yesterday. Jamar Chase, one of the most entertaining wide receivers to watch in the league. One of the best. Going to get paid a huge chunk of money very, very soon. Here's what he had to say when he was asked about the best quarterback in football.
Asked about the number one player in the NFL, with very little hesitation, you said
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Everybody knows that, yeah. That's easy. MVP.
He said Pat.
Who said Pat?
Joe.
Pat who?
Look, I'm all for being for your quarterback. No problem with him initially saying, no, Joe is. That's his quarterback. That's fine.
That's supposed to be his answer. But then they're like, hey, Joe Burrow said Pat. And he's like,
Pat who? Like, just give me a break. Give me a break.
Because the correct answer is
honestly,
Joe's just trying to be humble. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. You can still say the sentence, but when you start saying Pat who, I just want you to know that that is going to be something that in week, what do they play, 15? You're going to see him on the sideline go, who?
Of course
he's going to mouth it. Pat who?
Thanks for the bull.
Right on the sideline, right after he throws a dart touchdown at the back of the end zone. He'll remember this.
Yeah,
he will remember it.
Thanks for the bulletin board material. Yeah, I saw Bobby Stroop already, Mahomes' trainer, personal trainer, already basically say thank you and quote tweeted that clip from Jamar Chase. Like,
they already had it, man. You already called it Burrowhead, and that was a mistake. You should be regretting that. I don't, like, why, I don't know. I get it. Like, for your player, I'm a little more forgiving, if that makes sense.
The Chiefs won't do it,
but you don't have to say Pat who. You can just double down and be like, no, it's Burrow. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's the best quarterback. By the way, he's the second best quarterback, so it's not that big of a stretch.
It's like asking Patrick Mahomes who the best quarterback is. Do you think he's going to say himself?
He should.
I mean, yes.
Honestly, it'd be weird if he said someone that wasn't himself. I think Mahomes is way too crisp for this stuff, just like Burrow was in that moment. He would do it like Burrow, and he would be like, I think there's a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL. I think Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. He would just list like 8 quarterbacks. He'd be like, I think there's a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL, including myself. And then he'd list off all those guys, and he'd be like, you didn't answer any of that. That's what he would do. That's exactly what Mahomes would do. But I can't tell you what I assume if Travis Kelce got asked, he'd say Mahomes. But again, no one's arguing that side. This is the easiest. If Travis Kelce was standing there like, hey, Pat said that it was Joe Burrow, he'd be like, no, he didn't. And if he did, whatever. Joe Burrow's great. That's what he'd answer. Joe Burrow's great. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, which is all Jamar Chase had to say. But instead he went Pat who.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with him saying Joe Burrow is his answer. That's his quarterback. I have no problem with that.
It's the mistake of saying
Pat who. And the Chiefs won't do it, but it would be great before the Chiefs and Bengals game if right before it they play like a highlight montage, and then they showed after Mahomes has scored 3 touchdowns in the game and the Chiefs are up hopefully on, what is that game, New Year's Eve, if they play the Jamar Chase clip at Arrowhead.
Yes.
I don't think they'll do it. But
honestly, we should just probably make the shirts now because when he eventually hits them with that touchdown, he's going to mouth Pat who, and then we're all going to want that T-shirt, smoking on that Joe Burrow. Let's just accept the fact now that Pat who is going to be something Chiefs fans now use against you going forward because that's just how it works. And Chiefs have been really careful to not say something very disrespectful. It goes back to the he's a special teams player. What did he call him? He's a specialist. What did Jalen Ramsey call Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, like a punt return specialist or
kick returner. He's like, he's a kick returner. You're like, mistake. Yeah. That was a mistake. Be careful to the people you talk trash to. And at this point, I would just do nothing but rain compliments on the Chiefs.
Yeah, he also said, Jamar Chase, again, back up his guy, that's fine. But he also said, Joe Burrow, he's the MVP. Last time I checked, Joe Burrow has not won an MVP award either. So, again, just completely...
Mahomes has 2 of them,
Jamar Chase very confused. Very, very confused there in Cincinnati. Coming up next, though, what happened out in Oakland, what it tells us about the future of baseball, and it happened again at Kauffman Stadium as well.
Here's Kelce to the end zone.
Cody and Gold brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com. Don't miss the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Well, I just got back from the Lake of the Ozarks. Another fun weekend with some friends on the water, hanging out, enjoying the sun, wearing sunglasses. And if you guys have been listening for the last 2 years, you know that wasn't always the case for me. I was wearing glasses. I was wearing contacts. I don't do that anymore because of my friends over at Dury Vision undergoing SBK Advanced LASIK. And that's just one of the many benefits of laser vision correction. Improved vision for me. I see way better now without my glasses and contacts. It's safer vision. It's 5 times safer, in fact, than contacts due to infections. Saving some money. I don't buy contacts, glasses, cleaning solution. I don't have to remember to pack it when I go out of town. None of it matters anymore. And I get some time back in the morning. I save a couple minutes every single morning, not dealing with the daily hassle that come with glasses and contacts. It's all because of Dury Vision. And right now, if you're trying to schedule that consultation, which is completely free, you don't even have to go in the office. They're offering virtual consultations over Zoom. Just head to DuryVision.com or give them a call at 913-491-3330 and tell them Gold from 610 sent you.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB. 800-391-5063 for your free consultation and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Do you remember how cold it got this winter? Well, it was a chilly one. And if you notice the cold air pouring through those old leaky windows, well, guess what? When it gets hot this summer, the exact opposite is going to happen. All of that cool air is going to escape through those leaky windows, and that hot air is going to come in. So I'm telling you right now to replace those old windows and keep your house cool this summer with the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs over at Window World. Their windows are one of 2 windows with a good housekeeping seal of approval, a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And right now, Window World is offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So pick up the phone right now and call this number for a free home estimate, 816-799-0820. And they can show you how they are simply the best for less. Remember this phone number, 816-799-0820. Or check out the website, windowworld.com.
Firing up the grill seemed like a good idea until I realized I have to do all the work.
Take a load off. Let Bogey's Windy City Pub do the cooking. Located in South Leawood and BogiesWindyCityPub.com. Bogey's Windy City Pub, your neighborhood restaurant and sports bar.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
When you get hurt in an accident, who do you think of? You think of Mike.
Everybody knows that.
After my wreck, I remembered Mike's got this. And his team got me $375,000.
Hurt in a car wreck? Think of Mike.
Mike's got this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
At Anthony, we get the job done right the first time. That's why these are the technicians Kansas Cityans have trusted for over 70 years. Right now, receive a new AC for as low as $59 a month. From Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
It's Macy's Father's Day sale. Take an extra 25% off great gifts for every dad with your coupon or Macy's card. Or shop Father's Day specials, like 40 to 50% off classic styles from INC, Alfani, and more. 25 to 40% off activewear essentials from Adidas, Reebok, and more. And 40% off designer watches to update his look. Give love, give style, now at Macy's. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
You've never had anything like Kentucky Fried Chicken's new chicken nuggets. They're so good, you'll hear a random choir singing every time you open the box. Don't believe me? Just listen. Box open.
KFC. Chicken nuggets. KFC.
Box close. Open.
Original recipe. KFC.
Close. Can we get a remix? Order KFC's new chicken nuggets on the KFC app today. That's finger looking good. Prices and participation may vary.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Royals baseball is in full swing.
That ball is gone. It's a home run by Vinny Pasquantino.
With the free Odyssey app, local fans can listen live all summer long, whether you're at the grill or at the pool.
Looks up and it's gone. MJ Melendez hits a solo homer over the right center field fence.
Royals baseball. Royals announcers streaming live on the free Odyssey app. AUDACY. Get in the game and download it today.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Max Motors. 9 major vehicle brands to choose from. MaxMotors.com.
Buying a car is so hard, but with Max Motors, it is so easy. In minutes, they gave me so many options within my budget.
Don't overpay on your next new vehicle. Max Motors, worth the drive from anywhere. Select your vehicle at MaxMotors.com.
All right, just getting started here on a Wednesday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you. We got Kramer running the board and producing the show today for Nick, who is off in Paris still. We got JT, the intern, also in the building.
He had to run the board on Monday. In case you didn't know that, Kramer, we had a last-minute illness, and Spec asked how my board op skills were, and I said, not good, as in I haven't done it in many years.
So this is like a third language back here for you if you're back here.
Well, dude, it's been like 7 years. I don't know if it'd be like riding a bike, but I don't think it would be. I think it would. I do poorly. I do worse than JT did. How about that, Gold? How do you feel about that? I would do worse than he did.
Probably so.
And I know the structure of you would have done worse too, by the way. Don't just stand back here and seem like you're all
You asked me the question.
Would you do worse than JT?
I don't know.
Oh, a little less confident on yourself. Kramer knows what he's doing.
I mean, I should be more confident in myself than my confidence in you. That would make sense.
I mean,
well, you asked me the question the other day. I've ran.
Do you have more confidence in yourself than you do Patrick Mahomes? Every person doesn't have to be like that. You know?
Yeah, but you and I do the same thing for a living. Patrick Mahomes and I don't. That's the difference.
Or we could switch spots.
But neither of us do that for a living, and haven't for a very long time.
Done it before. The Mahomes. My point. The
I'm going to say it now.
The Mahomes
at our
example
peaks,
doesn't make
I
any
was a
sense.
better producer than you. At our peaks, I was better at that part.
What makes you say that?
Confidence in myself.
Oh, finally, now you're showing it. There we go.
Confidence in myself, and I'd be better at that.
No, I not that, again, our listeners really don't give a damn about this because we could do this for another half hour.
Did you win like an award or something? A Marconi for best board op?
No, my first job in radio, I did a morning show and I ran my own board while I was doing a show by myself, so that happened. But anyway.
You think you're the only person who's ever
like
run a board?
on Saturday.
No, just
Kramer
saying.
does that now.
I know, but just saying, so we can play that game. We'll get to Kramer's Corner or Kramer's Comments or Kramer's Crap. I don't know what it's going to be.
Wait, you're going to name it Kramer's Crap? Can the text line help?
I don't know.
913-586-7610?
We don't have Nick's notable notes, obviously, so we need a name for Kramer's, again, Corner. I don't know what we'll have that coming up in just a little bit. Did you see what happened out in Oakland last night, though? I actually thought it was pretty cool. The fans did a reverse boycott. We know the Oakland A's likely moving to Las Vegas to become the Las Vegas A's. Their owner sucks. They hate him out there.
They passed the first vote process to get that. Yep.
And so last night, over 27,000 fans were at the Oakland Coliseum, or whatever they call it these days, for their game against the Rays. And it was a reverse boycott. They were trying to show that the fans aren't the problem, that they would support the team if the organization actually supported its fans and the baseball team itself. and they had a bunch of things planned throughout the game. There was one inning where they were dead silent on purpose, that all of a sudden, once the first batter was done, they already had it like a scripted out. They all started chanting, "Sell the team," and it was deafening so much that the pitch comm didn't work for their own pitcher, by the way.
Which is awesome.
Which was really, really cool. But just, I thought last night, I mean, just reminds us of when fans are able to organize, right? They're able to come out in full force, and in this case, I don't know if it's going to change anything, unfortunately, because I think the team is going to go to Las Vegas. I don't think they're staying in Oakland. But they want to show that it's not the fans' fault, and that maybe in the future, if there was ever an opportunity for a team, I think that they could, that they could support a team. The problem is, when you've lost as many as they have, I don't think Oakland's getting a baseball team again once they leave. I think it's done. I don't think you get an opportunity again.
Why not? They had a playoff atmosphere at that game last night. It was raucous. They had people show up, and I get it. It's one game, so they're not doing that night in and night out. But they were trying to make a point. Like, they were trying to. Kramer watches, God rest his soul, every Oakland A's game, I think.
Yes,
on the
sir.
West Coast.
Yes, sir. Anytime they're on at night.
By the way, that's degenerative
what are you
behavior. The
doing?
fact that you have spent all year watching Royals games at times and then every A's game hurts my feelings.
I mean, I also watch the Cardinals, too.
Well, that also sucks this year.
No, it's bad. It's bad for me, but I still do it.
Yeah,
do you watch any good teams or just bad ones?
I mean, I've been watching the Baltimore Orioles a lot lately. They got a lot of studs on there, but I mean, I watch every single baseball game.
With the games ending a lot quicker this year with the pitch clock rules and everything, you can bounce around and watch a little bit more. Someone says, what are they wanting to sell the team to move? No, they're hoping the owner sells the team to someone that wants to keep the team in Oakland. That's what their dream is. It's just probably not going to happen.
Well, because the owner for the longest time, the city wouldn't really give him a stadium. They finally put a proposal out there, then they were surprised to find out that proposal was accepted.
Yeah.
That Oakland would build them somewhat of what they were asking for, and they're like, nah, screw that, we want to leave anyway.
There's a Howard Terminal Project was the name of the stadium deal that they had.
And they didn't expect it to get approved, because essentially they made it hard to get approved because they want to move. They want to move. Look, meanwhile, the Royals, because of that A's game last night, the Royals, as of today, are the worst team in baseball.
Officially official. The A's have won 7 in a row, right?
Yeah.
While the Royals have lost 7 in a row.
Thus making the Royals the statistically worst team in baseball based on record.
Absolutely pathetic.
Jordan Lyles has now started 14 games for the Kansas City Royals this year, and in those games, the Royals are 0-14.
It continues.
0-14.
It just continues, man. We've been talking about this stat since it got to about 0-9, 0-8. And now
what are we supposed to do here, man? What am I supposed to do with these Jordan Lyles starts? Because being sad about it doesn't work. I want to support our guy, Jordan Lyles. I want to help him get wins.
Yeah. I mean, he's made history, that's for sure. He tied the all-time record set by a guy named Matt Beach in 1997 for most consecutive starts to open a season that were all team losses. So, history, man. That's the pace that the team is on. That's the pace that Jordan Lyles is on. That's what this season has become. Just how much bad history are the Royals going to actually make in 2023?
Look, I'll always say this. If you're going to be bad funny. Like funny ha-ha bad, right? Because at the very least, for all those years of Royals baseball, that genuinely were just the worst. In the early 2000s and stuff, at least we always have the memories of Ken Harvey getting stuck in a tarp, or a cutoff man having a ball thrown into his back, or Vin Mazzaro, or a collision between the catcher and the pitcher in trying to get rid of whatever it is, right? We have those moments. And this will be this year's moment. Just know now, this is going to go down as one of the worst years in Royals history based on anything that they're projected to do right now. And if it does, the thing we will probably hold to this year is, remember that time that Jordan Lyles went, and whatever it ends up being before they got to that point. Because this is, look, there's a lot of things I think that, we've talked about JJ, how he deserves a little bit of time to fix some of the problems that existed because of Dayton Moore. Even though he was in this organization, he didn't put a lot of these things in motion. This is his signing. Jordan Lyles is his signing, and it looks not just bad, Gold, like one of the worst signings in the franchise's history. The guy's 0-11. The team is 0-14. I know every game's not his start. He retired like the final 20 batters last night.
Final 14.
Didn't matter. They still lost because he gave up the lead a couple of times, and then eventually they couldn't come through late.
That's what's
for the second consecutive night.
That's what's crazy if you dive deeper into him. You're right, even though he retired the final 14, but he's out of the starts he's had multiple times, not just once or twice, plenty of times. They've actually given him an early lead.
Well, he has the highest ERA in baseball, man.
And so
he's not losing by accident. He's not 0-11 like he accidentally stumbled into just bad luck. I've been pitching these one-run shutouts this entire time.
It's not as if they've fallen behind early and the offense has actually given him leads in so many of these outings as well.
And it still doesn't matter. I mean, I'll say this. Like, you watch that A's thing and you're like, we're not heading towards that, right? No. Let me just reassure you. That's not where we're headed to. The frustration you should have is that they're in year 6 or 7 of the rebuild, depending on 5 if you're being generous and you're thinking they were trying to win in 16 and 17 before they rebuild. But they're in either 6 or 7 year of the rebuild, and they have the 28th rated farm system and the worst record in baseball. So that's not where you're supposed to be in the 6th or 7th year of a rebuild. And then watching the A's last night, it's just like, I just don't want full-blown apathy to set in. So let's just figure out some way we can help Jordan Lyles. Rather than talk about the bad. I'm going to work on that, okay?
He's going to start on Sunday.
Yeah. Some of the suggestions we have for Kramer's segment coming up, because Nick is out, are Kramer's Cosmos, Kramer's Comrade Corner. That seems... I don't know how you feel about being called a comrade.
Sounds too much Washington football team-esque for me. I'm good.
Kramer's Content, Kramer's Quips. Our guy Pete Sweeney texted in. Kramer's Cranium Crumbs, which feels kind of messy. Kramer's Contradiction. That doesn't make any sense unless you're going to contradict yourself in it.
I could try.
Leader in the clubhouse so far is...
The Creamy Thoughts one's pretty sweet.
I don't think you want that.
Yeah, I'm good. I just thought it was pretty fun.
I don't think you want that.
I don't think you want to get married to that one.
Oh, no, I'm good.
And instead should be thinking about some other possibilities. We'll get to it either way in a few minutes. Kramer's... You said crap? I thought that was kind of mean. Corner? But there was Cody's corner, so he can't really have a corner anymore. It doesn't exist anymore, really, but that's mine. I have corners. They're mine. We have C's, so we have that C sound.
I mean, you can man the hot corner. I can man the first base side corner.
Different corners. I guess typically if there are corners, there's more than one, but I think you should have your own thing. I think you should have your own thing. Maybe Kramer's Comments, maybe Kramer's Crap, maybe Pete's suggestion of Kramer's Cranium Crumbs, which sounds...
Too much.
Mouthful?
Yeah,
not enough?
It's too much.
Okay. Well, let's think about it for the next 8 minutes and instead talk about some questionable parenting.
Baby Gronk. Maybe you've heard of this by now because it's been viral for the last week at least, I would say. And there was an Athletic profile. That's where he caught on even more about this kid. And that's right, kid. That's who we're talking. We are talking about a 10-year-old, but there is a 10-year-old that has a father that I think is out of his damn mind. And I don't have kids. You have kids, so you can relate to this more than I can. As we go through, and we're going to play some audio in a second, it sounds like almost child abuse, what he is actually putting his son through, all for his own benefit. He claims that he wants his own son, though, to be a millionaire before he goes to college through social media content. And so now he's utilizing that with his 10-year-old son. Basically, there's a 10-year-old kid that has become viral on social media, and he took an unofficial visit at LSU. He's a football player, and his dad was quoted in this Athletic piece basically saying that he's not a normal kid. They have a program. He only eats clean foods, and he works out blank amount of days. There's a video of him towing a truck behind him and all this stuff like this.
Is he the kid from the Little Giants?
He's
is he that kid?
Is he Little Hercules?
What's that kid's name?
Little Hercules?
Yeah. The kid with the refrigerator on his back.
Is
he that kid?
I mean, he's a 4th grader. He has about 321,000 followers on Instagram. So he's got a strong following there.
That's a crazy big following.
Yeah, and so his dad claims that's what his goal is, that his son will make so much money in NIL before he even goes to college. But then there's a piece of audio where he was on a podcast, and you can hear his dad is feeding him answers to the podcast. You're going to hear Baby Gronk, which is, that whole thing's ridiculous anyway, answering the podcast question, and then his dad corrects his son and says, no, answer it this way. And it's very cringe.
Are you him is the real question.
Yes.
See, I'm going to punch him in.
Punch
Ask
him
that
in.
again, bro. Say,
Man, what kind of question is that? You see my Instagram? Say that. Ready? All right,
Hey, baby Gronk, are you him?
What kind of question is that? Look at my Instagram.
Would you take her to prom someday?
Hey, no, say it again, bro. You gotta say, man. I already DM'd her and asked her, and she said yes.
That's his dad.
All right, come on, man. Say on the mic.
Hey, baby Gronk, would you take Livy Dunn to prom, you think?
I already DM'd her and she said yes.
Damn. Damn. What kind of tuxedo you getting? OG James Bond style or what? Yeah.
Nah, hey, say it again, bro.
Hey, what kind of tuxedo you getting?
I'm gonna get a Gucci one. Ready?
Hey, what kind of tuxedo you getting?
I'm gonna get a Gucci one.
What are you gonna do, to stay sharp and keep your skills up if you're actually not gonna go through with middle school and high school?
Just work out.
No. I'm gonna get massages. I'm gonna get full body massage.
This is definitively a worse answer, by the way, than the one the kid gave.
Go. You want to ask it again, bro?
Yeah.
All right, go.
I saw that you're foregoing middle school and high school football. How are you going to keep preparing yourself to play college football in this whole process?
I'm gonna get body massages by baddies.
Anything you want to say before we dip out, baby Gronk?
I'm the number 1 4th grade football player in the world, and flex, and that's it. Ready? Stand right there.
Say it one more time.
Yeah.
Hey, baby Gronk, before I wrap up, bring the juice. Anything you want to say to Bring the Juice Nation today?
I'm the number 1 4th grader in the world.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is real audio. That's
I
not
hate
fake.
it so very much.
That was the 10-year-old kid. Obviously, you could tell answering questions and then his dad telling him what to answer with. Super cringe. I'm telling, how is it not a form of child abuse? Seriously.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Like, I mean, that's awful. That's awful. And it's gonna, I hope the kid is at least having fun playing football now and one day will realize how bad this was. But I hope the kid's actually enjoying himself.
There's no way. Minimum. Did you hear him? There's no way he's enjoying himself.
Playing football. But it's just completely embarrassing, and it's pathetic, really. It's flat out pathetic.
Baby Gronk's dad sounds like he peaked in middle school, maybe high school freshman year. This is
peaks
gross.
in middle school. That's the most awkward time for everyone.
His dad did. This is gross.
And again, I don't think this is one of those, like, when people are like, well, you never played in the NFL, so you can't tell me. No, Gold, you don't have to be a parent to tell me this is gross. You don't have to be like, well, you have kids, so maybe you view this different. Nobody views this different. Yeah. This is a horrible nightmare. Also, some of the answers, like, I get it, right? If he wants him to answer, but just saying, do you think I'll just work out. There's nothing wrong with that answer. I'm going to work out. That's what a professional athlete would say. He's like, I'm going to get massages by baddies. Don't make your fourth graders say that. Oh my God, it's uncomfortable.
His dad has come out publicly and basically said, like, what his plan is to basically become a social media influencer, and use his son for this to make money and set his son up and him up for the future.
You realize that there's no
exploitation. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but even with TV, they figured out a way to just like this is the most dorky conversation ever. But with TV, there's a law, Gold. You have to set aside a certain percentage of your child's earnings to have for future reference. It's a law named after some former child star in the 30s and went really south, obviously. So there's a law. Guess what there isn't for social media influencer? A law that means, his dad can just take all this money. It doesn't matter. But also, trying to force him to create a personality makes it so much more uncomfortable. Just to be clear, you can be the biggest, baddest fourth grader in the world. It does not mean you are going to be a professional athlete. That's not how any of this works. I was one of the best baseball players on my team in middle school, or when I was in 4th grade probably. By 6th grade, I wasn't. And by 9th grade, I was one of the worst. So what do you think?
Not to mention, I'm assuming the kid's going to get burnt out. And when you're looking at the path going forward for him, you kind of mentioned the talent level and the talent gap that's going to exist, but just overall, you wonder the real consequences of this for this poor kid down the road.
He's going to need a lot of therapy, as the text line pointed out.
That's awful. That's terrible. I couldn't believe it was real. I thought it was fake, but it was a real thing. That was a real interview that happened.
Did they release that video, by the way? Do they think this makes them look better? Because both sides of this look terrible. That podcast shouldn't just keep letting this kid re-record answers that his dad is giving them. Did they release that as like one solid cut?
Sure.
Like that was his quick, snappy answer to all these things?
I'm guessing it was a behind-the-scenes type of video, of the podcast interview. But
Ugh.
Gotta write something down. Nick's notable notes.
Well, obviously,
Kramer's quips has also been tossed in there, Kramer.
No Nick's
Not
notes.
too bad.
What do you want to call it today, Kramer?
We can just do, for now, Kramer's comments, because I have no idea what else to put in it. Keep
Kramer's comments.
suggesting him. We'll figure one out. But for today, so the first NBA title in franchise history, the Denver Nuggets won. Last night, the Vegas Golden Knights won the first Stanley Cup in franchise history. So now in the NFL, there are 10 teams that still have yet to win. Bills, Texans, Chargers, Vikings, Browns, Falcons, Panthers, Jaguars, Titans, Bengals, Lions, and Cardinals. Out of these teams, which one do you think is going to... Granted, it won't be... The Chiefs are clearly going to win this year, but which team will win the Super Bowl this year between those 10?
I mean, Cincy's got to be the favorite to do that if it was going to be one of them, right?
Yeah, out of the 10. You said you didn't say Philadelphia?
No, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they won one.
Won one on the Philly special a couple of years ago.
I didn't hear the context of it. All I heard were 10 teams listed off. That's
Who are the teams who have never won a Super Bowl in the NFL?
That will win
Browns,
this year.
Lions,
Gotcha.
Texans.
Okay.
Which one of
That's
them is the best chance to win it? Let me just rule out the ones who can't. It won't be the Browns, or the Lions, or the Texans, or the Falcons, or the Panthers, or the Cardinals, or the Titans.
Well, then, by the way, if that's,
I mean,
if that's
we're
the
really down to
criteria,
the Chargers, Bengals, and Jags, I guess, right?
If that's the criteria, the answer is, do I have to pick one?
Yes.
Because I don't, none of them is the answer I want to give you.
It's going to be the Lions, right?
We're going to do it?
The Lions have got the best chance out of all these
I mean, the
teams
NFC's
right
a
now.
joke. I wouldn't rule out the Lions.
The Lions have the best chance to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, yes.
Out of those teams, including Cincinnati?
And of those 10 teams there, I think they do.
What?
What?
Now,
They have an
to your
easy
point,
First
the
day filling in, and we're already on the takes.
The NFC is, the NFC is wide open. I'll give you that. Outside of Philadelphia, I should say it's wide open. But come on now.
I mean, they have the easy
championship.
path. Aaron Rodgers is not there anymore.
I'll say this. The one point Kramer has in his favor is the NFC. Way easier.
Yeah, it's wide open after
way
Philly.
Easy. It's just Philadelphia, no one else. Philly slips up one time, plays one bad game, and you could be in the Super Bowl. No one else is even good in that conference. The AFC goes like 9 deep.
I have serious questions if Jared Goff can go back-to-back seasons at that level. Ben Johnson, their OC, was great last year. Can they replicate that? They also don't have Jamison Williams for the first 6 games. I know they didn't have him much last year, but that would be my hesitation on the love. Plus, everybody's on the Lions bandwagon. I always run in the opposite direction when I start seeing that.
Why? Last year was on the Lions bandwagon, too. They were much better.
We're not winning a
Significantly
championship.
improved.
Heading into last season, that was a Hard Knocks bandwagon is what that was. Now there's like people legitimately like Kramer that think they're going to be good.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid over here.
Yeah.
By the way, I did watch you were mentioning the Hard Knocks. I watched that trailer in the break for that Netflix quarterback series.
Yeah.
It's a well-produced trailer. I don't know if it means the series is going to be good, but I am now
Kramer,
more
did you hear
interested in the series.
Did you hear
based on
that? That Netflix put out a trailer that looks well produced.
Yeah.
It's
very.
I mean, that's
dude,
amazing.
sometimes you watch trailers and stuff and you're like, this looks dumb, and I'm not going to watch it.
It's football. It's mic'd up. I'm all in. I'll be watching. And yeah, Mahomes obviously had some good lines in that trailer already that came out.
But Netflix is good on the documentary side. Like I think they do really good job at documentary. So I'm glad that it looked great.
Yeah, but mostly their docs are like murder documentaries. So unless this is like Mahomes murdering the NFL, it doesn't really count.
Isn't the F1 thing on Netflix?
And the golf
that's
one.
what they're. Yeah, that's what they're.
And Full Swing, and they're both very good. My concern is still access. I'm still worried about access. Like, will it be good enough that they like actually show you one thing that you didn't know about them before?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm July 12th, right?
Yeah, July 12th. Is that it? Is that all the Kramer comments? You got one more?
Oh, that's it for now.
Okay. Those are Kramer's comments he said for today?
Yeah.
At least stands for that. You watched the trailer, too.
Yeah. During the
I
break.
mean, first, it makes Mahomes look like a badass because he is.
He is, yeah.
So it's like they show 4 highlights of him just being like, that's just what I do. Or, whatever other insane things he does. And he seems so calm and cool and collected about it. So immediately we just think it's that. But I just think the whole series is contingent on the idea, Gold, of them actually showing you something you couldn't have seen otherwise. Mic'd up stuff on the sideline, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I
but
am
you saw in the
familiar
trailer-
with that.
You saw in the trailer, though, there's a lot of stuff off the field, right? They show him and his family going out and doing some stuff.
To a carnival.
And things like. So I think that's the stuff that you normally won't see. I mean,
Look like they were
on
like pumpkin picking.
On the field stuff, you're right. We probably, especially with Mahomes, feel like we've kind of seen a lot of that. But the rehab stuff, hanging out with his family, I think that'll be stuff nobody's seen before.
I think so. Kirk Cousins was like reading a book to his kid about quarterbacks getting hit. It seems entertaining.
Funny. Yeah.
But it's just as long as they lean into the personality stuff, I think it will be good.
Yeah, they were making, like, Kirk Cousins, his wife was making fun of him because they were leaning into that, like how he has dad style or whatever.
He's kind of a dork. Kirk Cousins is kind of a dork.
They lean into it. And that's why when the video of him on the plane just wearing the chains, shirtless, was so funny and went viral because like, Kirk Cousins, if Mahomes was doing that, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But Kirk Cousins did it, and it was funny.
I'm fascinated. The injury stuff may be the most fascinating stuff I am for Mahomes at this point because I want to see how bad it was. We never got a full sense. Like, we know it's bad. It's a high ankle sprain. But just how bad was it? How much are they working on that ankle? Is he just, like, never sleeping? It's just, like, something, like, he's sleeping with it wrapped up while something, like, whatever. It's like, I want to see the full breadth of the ankle situation is what I'm getting to here.
Cody wants some nasty ankle pictures is what he wants.
Like a man in the 1870s just looking for a little more ankle.
If you think about it, they picked a broad spectrum of quarterbacks with Mariota, Cousins, and then Mahomes.
Sure.
Yeah, like a qualified NFL starter who is good and nobody's doubting is good on a good team, the best quarterback in the NFL, and a guy who is struggling to maintain his position on the NFL, just staying as a starter in the NFL. It's the right grouping of people to go with because that's exactly what they do on F1 in full swing. Here's the established golfer who everyone agrees is one of the best guys. Here's the guy who is trying to stay on the PGA. And here's the guy who's pretty good, but you didn't realize was interesting. That's what you hope you get out of those three.
All right, coming up next, we get to the 11 o'clock hour. The plan for the Chiefs in the offseason. They've done it a couple years in a row. What does it tell us about what's to come in the future? Next.
Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio, brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Which business owner would you rather be?
Oh, please, oh, no. Don't be the fire marshal, not the fire marshal. Why me? Why me? I'm doomed.
Or this business owner?
Hey, it's the fire marshal. Come on in.
Oh, this won't take long. I see Keller has been here.
Keller Fire and Safety has businesses covered in Kansas, Missouri, and throughout the Midwest for fire protection and safety. One less thing to worry about. Call Keller Fire and Safety.
Keller Fire and Safety.
KellerFire.com.
Pro Paint Days are here at Lowe's. Now through June 16th, Lowe's MVPs members can start earning 20% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Stock up on top paint brands like our new and exclusive HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Spec Right Pro Interior Paint. Lowe's knows pros. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Use a BetMGM bonus bet to place your next wager on any game in any sport. To receive your bonus bet, simply log into your BetMGM account every Saturday and Wednesday between May 13th and June 21st to bet on any game of your choice. Then add the type of bet on any game to your bet slip and activate your bonus bet. There is no deposit or additional wager required. Want even more BetMGM action? Enjoy the best daily promotions, live betting options, and the all-new signature bets only at BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Promotion may differ per customer. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years and physically present in Kansas to bet. Existing customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey guys, I'm talking to you from right here. Now's the perfect time to take the family planning into your hands and make things easier on your wife or partner. Book your vasectomy now at KCUC. Now, I had mine last year, and I'm in the clear now. The whole process of getting a vasectomy takes less than a week. I went into KCUC. The procedure itself is about 30 minutes long, and then I was back on the couch at home for a few days resting up. And not long after, I was back into my normal routine. So book your vasectomy now at KCUC. KCUC's doctors are opening up their schedules for more slots for vasectomies. With 15 locations in the KC Metro and 11 more around Kansas and Missouri, there's a KCUC close to you. Now's the time to book your vasectomy. So call 913-348-8264 or just go to kcuc.com for more information and to book your appointment. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Here's another Outdoor America fishing tip presented by Wholesale Batteries. The right battery the first time. Here's the host of Outdoor America, Tommy Bench.
Hi, I'm Tommy Bench, and if you're going to go catfishing, I've got some great tips for you this week. First of all, I like to fish with live bait when you're fishing catfishing on a limb line. In particular, my favorite. So catch you some nice sunfish with just some night crawlers. It's a fun way to double the pleasure there by catching the sunfish and then catching the catfish. Also, it's very, very important. Do not bait them limb lines until right at dark. If you do an hour or two early, you will get unwanted fish like gar and turtles. So make sure you don't bait it till right at dark. I'm Tommy Bench, and that's your tip of the week. I'll see you on the water.
Outdoor America with Tommy Bench, heard every Saturday morning at 5 a.m. on 610 Sports Radio, presented by Wholesale Batteries.
This Father's Day is all about the Royals. So bring Dad out to the K for the return of full powder blue uniforms. But that's not it, because the first 15,000 fans will also get a bobblehead featuring Vinny Pasquantino and Nicky Lopez, presented by Pepsi. And that sure beats a new pair of socks or a tie. Sunday, June 18th at Kauffman Stadium, it's the Royals and the Angels. Get your tickets at Royals.com.
At Shane Company, we believe everybody is made to shine. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Shining is not for a chosen few. Like a rare gemstone, each one of us was created under just the right set of circumstances. Your moments, your milestones, your love story, all deserve to shine bright. You don't need an occasion or an invitation. You and your life are the event. At Shane Company, we handcraft our jewelry with the greatest care and hand select the most beautiful gemstones so you can shine. So put on a pair of earrings that make your eyes sparkle. Wear diamonds that light up the room. Try on sapphires in every color of the rainbow. Give an heirloom that collects new stories with each generation. We're all made to shine. Shane Company, fine jewelry since 1929.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's gonna fit. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingarone, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios. Win Royals tickets 1 hour prior to first pitch by listening to Vern's On Deck Show, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, 11 o'clock hour on a Wednesday. It's Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tap with you. Kramer producing the show today. Kramer never once was mentioned in the suitcase allegations, ever. You notice, like, never once.
He did. So today he was asking about it briefly this morning, and he said, did you guys ever find out who took it?
Nope.
And I said, no, we didn't. He said, if I took it, I didn't take it, by the way. That's what he said. If I took it, I didn't take it, by the way, but if I took it, I would have never returned it, which was my argument yesterday. I would have never returned it. I just would have never given it back.
I would just let it hide in my closet forever and ever and ever. No one would even know the trace.
I would have burned it in a barrel. Eventually, I would have destroyed it.
Yeah.
I would have just destroyed it.
That's the move.
In enough time so that the evidence was no longer there.
It is back, and if you go to the 610 website, by the way, 90% of the items, we're still adding a couple more in experiences, but 90% of the items are already up. So you can go to 610sports.com. You'll see it says 3rd Annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale. Of course, we're doing that next Tuesday to benefit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And we've got, about 70 items and experiences already up on the site. You can view them. You can't bid yet. That's not till Tuesday. But you can at least see some of the cool items we got. A bunch of autographed baseballs from legends in Royals history. Like
an autographed Hunter Dozier.
Alberto Mondesi and Jorge Soler, who might be the big league leader in home runs here pretty
soon. He hit 48
soon.
home runs for this team once.
And we have some great experiences. We've mentioned you can go golfing with the producers out at Swope, dinner with Cody and I at Hart Barbecue. We got beers with Bink at Cinder Block, Kelly's, Pete and Cody to go out on the bar tab.
Just this morning, I added an item for a certificate to get a custom pair of cleats or shoes painted from Greenco Paintworks. You might not know them offhand, but you do know their work because the guy who does them has painted cleats for Sky Moore, Mitch Holtis, Travis Kelce. He did the Travis Kelce brothers painted cleats for the head of the Super Bowl for those two.
He does all the My Cause, My Cleats for a lot of the players, and they're really, really cool. And now you have a chance to have your own custom shoes.
Yeah. So all you got to do, and you can decide. Like I sent out the photos that are on there because you can go to GrecoPaintworks.com and see all of his work. But of the photos I put up there, one of them is just a pair of high top Air Jordans that look cool that were custom painted in a way that maybe somebody would like them. So there's just so many different items. I even saw on the text line earlier. Unfortunately, JT has left, so we cannot address this with him directly, although he might be listening on his car ride home because he came in earlier. Someone said, I want to talk about the photos that the intern took. So if you go through right now,
there's a couple
you go
photos.
to 610sports.com and you read through the descriptions of the items, you might notice some of the photos are a little far away or include your hand or you see someone's feet. Those were all taken by JT, the intern. I, in the listings, mock him for these decisions rather than retake the photos.
Hold up. What photos?
So if you go to 610sports.com and then you see it says 3rd Annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale.
You can right now see every item that we have listed.
He has photos of his feet?
No. Cody made it sound like he took photos of his feet. No.
That's what I'm talking about.
His feet are just included in the photo of the items he was trying to take a picture of.
Gotcha.
You can link to the bidding site that we have. You can't bid yet. But if you look, there's a couple of the items listed. And he didn't zoom in on the item far enough, and so his feet are just. Cody made it sound like he took photos of his feet, but
might as well have.
I was just standing next to the guy. Feet pics, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, money's money, man.
I guess don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, I've never taken a picture of my foot, but I'm also pretty convinced nobody would pay for it. So let's just establish that right away.
Cody does not have a secret OnlyFans featuring feet photos. Thank God.
I do not. But I just felt like sometimes things confuse me just generally in life this way, which is. We have all taken pictures of stuff in our phone. JT's grown up in a world in which cell phones have always existed. So, just the same as my kid could operate a camera right now and take a picture of something at age 7 or 4, JT has been doing that since birth. And yet, still somehow, JT managed to take some photos that are unexplainable based on desire. So, the sporting KC jacket, you can see items behind it. The tips of his feet, like it's the Wizard of Oz, and then the jacket. I don't need all this. I just need the item. So I gave him a hard time in some of the descriptions rather than retake the photos. I guess maybe I could have just helped him out and retook his photo. His feet is in at least 3 of those pics. It's unfortunate.
We'll get to the trash of the day in about 12 minutes or so. But the Chiefs, the last 2 off seasons, I think have positioned themselves financially to where we're an offseason away from them being back in the chance to go and get that big splash free agent signing. Last year, when they traded Tyreek Hill, I think we all acknowledged not only were they not willing to get to the $30 million per year mark with Tyreek Hill, but they had been up against the cap, and they still really are right now. But
very tight.
There were some decisions that they had been made, and they didn't want to get back into that same situation to where they didn't have some flexibility. And I think these last 2 off seasons, while they went out and gave Juwan Taylor, and maybe that's your answer, hey, that's the big splash, they've been able to set themselves up for the future a little bit better in kind of a cap savings approach.
I think that's been the theme of the last two off seasons.
Yeah, because we know that they actually have more space if they wanted. I mean, we've gone over this. They could do something with Joe Tooney's deal. Obviously, a Chris Jones extension immediately gives them, for this year, some cap flexibility. Mahomes,
yeah, we just saw the Rams move Cooper Kupp's money.
Yeah, Mahomes still has more money to move around if they wanted to. They've chosen not to do that, by the way. That also, to me, goes into this thinking as well, that they're still thinking long-term cap-wise. One, because they've got some decisions to make in-house with guys we've mentioned, Snead and others, Creed, Trey Smith, on and on. But to where I think they could be back in play for some of the biggest free agent acquisitions, although I would argue Jawan Taylor might actually have fit that already this offseason.
I think, I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it's really, we looked at the numbers on that thing, man. It's a very safe deal for them on the Jawan Taylor. I just think when you consider what their last two off seasons were, it was all about the cap. Like, that's clearly what the main focus of their offseason has been. How do we maintain any kind of financial ability? And yet I've seen other teams manipulate it more than this. So either they've just decided to like hover in this cap realm where they could always be 2 years away from essentially owing no one money, because that's kind of how they're set up. 2 years from now, the Chiefs pretty much pay no one. They're like think about how many people are under contract other than Patrick Mahomes 2 years from now. Not Kelce, not Jones, not Snead, not unless they're a rookie deal. I guess they'd still be in the final year of their rookie deal. Not Creed, not Tooney, not no one. They are 2 years away essentially from financial freedom. Each of the last 2 years, essentially never getting themselves too far down the future. And then look, in the NFL, that's about half the length of normal, right?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's way uncommon, but it does feel like they've been going extra cheap lately. So my question is, do they have to go extra cheap because they overspend in years and I didn't realize it? Or is this just their long play for one of these times we're going to pay a wide receiver an absolute bucket of money in an offseason and we're going to fix this thing? Or the second Travis Kelce, we're all playing the long game till Travis Kelce's gone, Gold, so that we can pay for a weapon then.
Yeah, and look, looking to, as you laid out the timeline, I mean, obviously 2 years out is actually a pretty far timeline in the NFL roster-wise, because in 2 years out, they only have 36 guys under contract. We know, so you're almost talking about needing to sign 20, and that's
they did that a couple years ago.
But that's 36 guys that aren't even, a lot of them are, I mean, we're talking about some guys like that you've never heard of. Anderson Hardy. Like
what?
Yeah.
Dude, remember earlier when you said all 53 people on the Chiefs roster were more famous than you? Anderson Hardy is an direct example of someone you are definitively more famous than, as I've never heard of that person in my life.
I've never heard of him either. But my point on that is that, so really it's way less than 36. So that's why you can say, like, looking 2 years out is pretty tough. But the biggest numbers they have 2 years out are Mahomes right now has a $48 million cap hit, then Jawan Taylor $24 million, Joe Tooney $22, and Kelce in 2025 has a $19 million cap hit. After that, everybody else is $5 million or less. But that's 2 years out. I mean, the Chris Jones deal, if they get an extension done automatically, is going to probably put a cap hit of well north of $22 million going forward in future years. But yeah, I think they have taken a smart approach the last two off seasons to put themselves in a spot where they have some flexibility in 2024 and beyond.
It's funny because they asked for all this flexibility in Mahomes' contract and have so barely used it. Like, this was the whole thing, the guaranteed mechanisms, and it's going to give us flexibility. And now for 2 years, they've had the chance to move some of his money around to create more cap space to, let's say, pay Tyreek Hill, pay Chris Jones, who they haven't paid yet, but we still think they will, bring in a DeAndre Hopkins, whatever. And instead, they've moved really what I think is like the bare minimum that they could for each of the 2 years out of Mahomes' deal. So they're still playing some sort of game because at some point, I'm assuming, they worked this contract out in a way so that they can move. Hell, Cooper Kupp's deal today. They just moved money around in Cooper Kupp's deal, the Rams, today. They moved more money on this deal in June than they have in the 2 years of Mahomes' contract combined.
Yeah, the thought in LA is either they're going to make a splash signing we don't know about, or they're just getting money for rookie contracts that they don't have yet.
Well, they did say F them picks for a long time and pretty much said that to the cap as well for a stretch. So, yeah, I don't rule that out for the Rams, but they have needed the cap space more than the Chiefs at this point, which still makes me think at the end they're going to swing. To me, the question is when the swing. To me, the back-to-back Super Bowls is enough to just be like, put it all in this year. Come on, go get back-to-back.
I think it's next offseason, man.
But if you win the Super Bowl again this year and you still don't move all this money around, then the year after that, it's really worth. Because you could say, hey, you're not desperate, but you're like, a chance to go back-to-back, which has never happened, if I'm correct, in NFL history. It's only 3 out of 4. You have to swing. You have to take. It's not desperate. It's just worth the swing. It's worth the risk. It's worth the chance.
Yeah. The bigger question is not even 2025. Like next year, what do they have on the books already? Next year, they have
Chris Jones.
About $36 million in cap space right now.
That's a pretty good amount.
But that's before the new Chris Jones number. So keep that in mind. Assuming they get something done. Mahomes, $46 million cap hit. Juwan Taylor, $24 million. Joe Tooney, $22. Kelce, $15. Justin Reed's $14.
And by the way, Justin Reed and Tooney, those are not guaranteed locks for the roster.
That's true. Come up for next year, obviously, 2024.
Yeah.
MVS, $14 million, but we know they could get out
They're
of
not a lock for the roster.
They could get out of that.
Matter of fact, I almost guarantee that one of those three won't be on the roster.
And then Charles Omenihu. It's 11.5 or 11.15 next year. In 2024, dead cap's 3.7, so that's another one. If things were to go south, they could get out of.
That's what I was telling you. It's like they're like a year out, and then they could just get rid of all their cap. Like well, we're cleaning house.
But
start
that
over.
doesn't include if they keep Snead. There's no Snead money on it for next year. There's no Chris Jones money on it for next year.
There's no Creed Humphrey money or Joe Tooney money, which you'd be paying them in the next offseason. Although that wouldn't jump next year's cap significantly, not usually in year one, but you get the point. There are plenty of guys. They have a lot of decisions to make, but it's also like maybe that's why they're making all these. They're like, we're going to wait to make these decisions, which is why we're just going to play it safe with the money now. There was we've talked sports wagering a lot on this show, especially recently, because
I don't think any show in the city talks more sports wagering than this show.
By the way, before the legalization as well.
Yeah.
I just placed a free bet, by the way, over at BetMGM.
U.S. Open?
Yeah, and you said Cam Smith, and I thought we should be in it together.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm in on Cam Smith.
It's a long shot. He's like 25, 30 to 1. But I had a free bet. I had a free bet as well. I put a couple bucks on it. Why
so
not?
I took a shot. Why not?
Let's go Cam Smith.
We've talked about sports wagering, and specifically lately, what seemingly is just an NFL problem. Mike Florio over at Pro Football Talk suggested something that I think is so dumb we had to discuss it, which is he's pointing out what the NFL does. They have unilateral power over the gambling policy. This is not a collectively bargained thing. They decide the gambling policy, and they have decided it to this point. What he is suggesting is no more of this confusion over, well, you can bet on the NBA, but not when you're at work. Just saying you can bet anywhere you want on any sport that isn't football. I understand why, in theory, it's like, why, that sounds like a good idea. I think it sets a very dangerous betting precedent for a league where you have to protect integrity to allow them to bet at the facility. It's only 2 rules, man. It's not that hard. We don't need to change it. Don't bet on football. Don't bet at work. Those are the only 2 things they're asking you to do.
Specifically, don't bet on the NFL. You can bet on college football.
Yeah. Don't bet on the NFL. Don't bet at work. Those are the only 2 things they're asking you to do, Gold. I don't think you need another rule in place to make it easier for them to understand. I think it's on these teams to just make it more clear what the rule is.
I still think, maybe I'll be proven wrong on this, but fast forward 5-10 years from now, that the understanding and education will hopefully be out there to where we won't see this happening quite at the frequency we are. I mean, if you look at there's theories out there, like anytime there's a major change in society, which sports wagering becoming more prevalent because of being legal in more states, that it takes time for society to adapt. And to me, this is one of those changes. If you're a 22-year-old kid right out of college that's playing in the NFL and you've got all this money, and there was a story today that some player last year lost $8 million, some NFL player betting. The NFL, that was from Mike Florio as well. So there's
who do you think it was, by the way?
Dude, I have no idea.
Come on, let's just take a guess at who we think is the most likely NFL player to bet and lose $8 million.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
You have to have $8 million for starters. It can't be got to be a vet.
I wouldn't even know where to start. Seriously, I have no idea. There's what would make you pick a certain player?
Personality type, amount of money they make.
I can see Jalen Ramsey.
The legalization of it in a state.
Yeah.
Those things would narrow it down for me. Jalen Ramsey doesn't seem like a terrible.
He plays in Florida.
Is it not legal there?
It's not legal there.
You can have someone else make the bet.
No, that's fine. If he plays in Florida, let's rule it out.
The NFL wouldn't know that he lost.
Is it
$8
legal
million.
in California?
No. Okay. It's not legal in California, Texas, or Florida.
Was it Russell Wilson?
Nah, I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Russ.
Anyway,
God,
he's dangerous.
Boy, if he lost $8 million on top of all the other losing he did, tough year for Russ. That would be
anyway, the point is, I think it takes time for society to adapt to certain things, and some of that is players, and therefore even understanding that at the high school up to college level, and I say high school, it's not legal to bet in high school, but my point is coming all the way up the education to where it's just known. Like, we think it's a no-brainer, but clearly it's not. It's not educated enough that you're an NFL player and you can't bet on NFL games. You can't bet in the team facility. I know, like Calvin Ridley, there was an article that came out recently about him, that he's been taking phone calls from players around the league, and he's been educating them the consequences and all. That's what's needed. The education aspect is needed. Teams, agents, NFLPA, make it crystal
clear. They all
clear.
just agree that there's a 5-minute meeting at the end of every practice where you have to talk about this, right?
Make it crystal clear that you're not allowed to do this, and these are the consequences, both financial, potentially your career. The kid, I can't remember his name for the Colts because he's not that big of a player, that reportedly bet on Colts games. He might get banned for life. They might Pete Rose him. He might not be able to play in the NFL again.
Yeah, they might. To make a point, they might. I mean, but it's and I don't think that's wrong for doing it, but it's I think it's simply on the teams. You know what else you should do? Start finding the teams who have these problems come up. It's on you to police your players. So if you're Indianapolis and you got 9 guys betting on then that's on you. Slap them with $1 million. You know, and again, it's going to seem like a small amount because these NFL owners are worth billions of dollars. Slap with a $5 million fine and be like, look, dummy, either get these players and get your coaches to teach them they can't bet on the NFL or bet when they're at the facility or not. By the way, my new guest is Deshaun Watson. Would like to.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's my new guest for the guy who lost $8 million last year. Lots of free cash, questionable decision making. Just really feels. That's my new guess. That's my new one.
I mean, he was Ohio is a legal betting state.
He
also was out the first 11
He was out,
games.
so he had time.
The only thing is,
I have no
only
idea.
recently they became legalized there in Ohio.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Signed up for one of those bet 1,000. You know, like sign up for one of those. Like, we're a new legal sports betting state. Take a chance. Drax, come on.
Yeah, I have no idea what player, but yeah, Mike Florio was reporting that some player lost $8 million this past year.
$8 million. Man, you gotta cap it somewhere. It's got to be before $8 million. Like, Gold, each of us, like, we wager. There's only a certain amount I'm willing to lose in a
Well, sure. It depends. But again, if you're
or in a year,
the question is that guy that lost $8 million, is he making $10 million a year, or is he someone that's
or is he
making
making
$45
$60
million?
like Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, I mean that's the
it
question.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it's still a problem, but not as problematic.
What's the equivalency? If he lost $8 million in a year and he makes $60 million, it's like him losing 1/6 of his salary. So I guess it would be like, like if you made $100,000, it'd be like you losing 20. Yeah, that's a problem. 15. That's probably an issue. If you lost $15,000, you make $100,000. You should look into that. You should call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
That's right, or 1-800-GAMBLER or whatever it is in Kansas. One of those hotlines.
1-800-522-4700.
One of those states, yeah. One of the states have it.
I have that one memorized.
That is the number, man. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whatever.
All right, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
I found some of these again on Reddit. Recently, we've had more of these scenarios that have been brought up and why people are shaming other people. And this is another one where I'm asking the question as well. I don't get why this is frowned upon. Remember a couple weeks ago we had the story about the wedding?
Sure.
And they catered in food from Chili's, and people were upset. Like, how could you?
Like, who cares?
They did it to save money, and the guests were happy. Then who cares? Well, here's another one. Newlyweds are being shamed by social media users for advertising their Venmo username on their car window. So we've all seen the car that says, like, just married or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, or bachelorette party.
Or whatever, right?
Get the bride a drink.
They, I guess as a couple, they put their Venmo QR code and or username. I guess there wouldn't be a QR code in that case, probably. Username.
Be a little hard someone scanning a QR code while driving.
Although you say that, it might actually be quicker. I don't know. Anyway. And people are upset. Venmo. Someone says, this is as tacky as it gets. Not even buy the bride a drink, just money. Disappointed in my neighbor. People are critical. More than 1,200 upvotes and a greedy label on Reddit from members of the wedding shaming subreddit. There's actually a subreddit where they shame people over weddings, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's a loser.
Here's a post. I see this bleep all over my city. Sometimes I just see the Venmo handle alone. Used to charge any I came across, but had a friend who did the same. So now there's some people that said anytime they saw your Venmo, they would request money from them.
I can just decline the request. It's not that big a deal. By the way, also fine. You have my Venmo handle. You request money. It is my choice to give you the money or to not give you the money.
Right, but if you're taking the time to be so upset that someone's Venmo handle is on their car that you are requesting money from them, like you have way too much time on your hand. You're way too worried about other people.
Here's the thing. What are they going to get? A couple $100? You're sweating because someone might get $300 to buy for drinks for the first couple of weeks they're married. Look, I would say that there's a time limit. I don't think you should be putting it on there for like a year. But if we're talking about you got married inside of a month, you got the Venmo handle on the back, and people are sending you $5 or $6, who cares?
Do you think if you just put your Venmo handle on the back of your car right now, how long would it take, do you think, driving around the city till someone actually gave you $1? Well, no, I was going to say just the first donation.
That would have been a good wheel punishment that you had to do that.
You had to drive until you got one?
Until you got until you got like $50.
Dude, not 50. You might have to say till the first person Venmos you, because that could be a while. I think you drive around. How long will it take for someone to Venmo you?
It just says, please, I need this. And then your Venmo handle?
I mean, I'd leave that for months and months and months, because if I know I'm getting some money coming in, I mean, heck, that's like extra side cash that I need.
So it sounds like none of us have a problem with this actual practice.
Someone on the text
you
line.
don't have to give money.
913-586-7610 from the 913. So there's a video of a car with their Venmo on the back driving slow in the left lane. The guy behind them gave them $5 and told them to get out of the left lane. They're stuck in traffic. I'll give you $5. Just move out of the left lane, please.
That's the way.
That's pretty funny.
Sending it out. Someone's like, every person on TikTok has their Venmo. It's embarrassing. Why is it embarrassing? No one is forcing you to give them money. Asking for money shouldn't be embarrassing. It's your choice.
I actually might do this.
You're going to put it on your car? Kramer,
might as well.
please.
I might as well.
Let's get you some of that white paint that they put on for graduates.
In the next 2 years, I will be getting married, so why not?
Hey.
And then I want to report. I want you to just do it now. Just for I'd like some money.
Well, honestly,
not even
down payment-wise, that's not a bad idea.
Look, I'm not going to put my Venmo handle on my Twitter account, whatever. But if you do, fine.
We've personally requested $1 every time somebody mentioned a Ross on this show, and many people have paid it.
But the thing that gets me is the QR code. I mean, anybody can put a QR code of anything on your car and say, hey, this is what my Venmo is. But it could go to a hacker site. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that goes through my mind when I see this stuff.
So you're out on the QR codes.
I mean, I'll leave the QR code out, but my Venmo handle will go on.
You're worried it's going to the feet pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I would never scan the QR code if I'm driving. So I'll put my QR code up there.
But if you put a Venmo handle, you can pretty safely assume that it's fine. I mean, it's a Venmo. It's backed by security.
I did see a flash drive on the ground. I thought about picking it up and putting it in to see what's in it, but I didn't do that because you never know what's on those.
Probably has nothing on it.
You never know.
Well, you thought about picking up a flash drive off the street?
No, I
won't even pick up a quarter anymore. It's going to be paper money.
Wait, hold on.
Have you ever seen those places?
I'm not picking up a quarter, dude. Just a dirty quarter off the streets now.
Do you know how you just said that a quarter's not good enough for you anymore?
That's terrible, man. I'm picking that up in a second.
You just said
picking up a quarter. There's been a nickel and 2 dimes and several pennies on top of this shelf.
Those were mine. Those were mine. No joke.
So, that's worth a quarter and you won't pick it up. That's your money?
I mean, I'll pick it up now if it's still there.
Go for it. You can take it. You can take it.
I got dibs.
They just sit on the table out there. You can take it. But if you see a quarter, yeah, you still pick up a quarter. It has to be a quarter, though. I'm not picking up like a penny.
How clean does it have to be?
I don't care if it's clean or not.
What if it looks sticky?
Currency's dirty anyway. You think those dollar bills are clean?
Oh, no, God, they're filthy.
They're dollar bills, though, so it's okay. I get it.
Take a look.
Get real high. No, I won't pick up a quarter anymore. I've called it there.
Just do it in Missouri.
Wow, that's quite the development.
Let's just have Kramer put his Venmo handle for the rest of the week. Let's put it on his car. He's with us through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Mm-hmm. And whatever he gets through Friday, he has to place a sports wager.
I'll put it all
it's
on.
Free money.
Yeah,
put
exactly.
your Venmo username and let us know the first
person.
Put it
all on the next Jordan Lyles start on him to win.
Oof.
Definitely getting plus money.
Plus money.
Although
man.
yesterday the Royals were actually the Royals at one point were minus 105.
Yeah, but for him to get the win, I bet you were still getting plus money.
Yeah.
So we'll just put it on that. You can get any money you can get from a Venmo handle on your car for the rest of the week. You put on the next Jordan Lyles start for him to win.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour and back into what Travis Kelce had to say about playing, well, maybe forever.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
He's so good, and everyone knows it.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. Getrefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
For the best barbecue in Kansas City, go to my favorite place, Smokehouse Barbecue. Smokehouse has been family-owned and operated for over 35 years, and they've become part of our family as well. From their tremendous ribs to their delicious burnt ends, Smokehouse has something for everyone. Plus, their hickory pip beans are world famous. So visit one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, or Zona Rosa, or place your carry-out and catering orders at SmokehouseBBQ.com. For the best in barbecue, it's my favorite, Smokehouse Barbecue.
The health of your home starts at the foundation. Here's James and Josiah of American Topsoil.
A wet basement can be a nightmare for homeowners. Prevent it by adding topsoil around your foundation.
If poor drainage is ignored or left unchecked, this can allow water to flow inward toward your foundation, potentially causing dangerous cracks and leaks.
Guys, the message is adding topsoil now can prevent big foundation problems.
That's right. So protect your home and give yourself peace of mind with this easy solution.
You can be confident knowing you'll only pay for the amount of soil you actually need. Call us at American Topsoil, 913-888-SOIL.
American Topsoil, 30 years and 4 generations of great topsoil for landscaping, gardening, and foundation preservation. With locations in Olathe and KC Mo. Nutrient-rich organic topsoil delivered with their power wheelbarrow service right where you need it. Call 913-888-SOIL or online at AmericanTopsoil.com. Great topsoil, great service. American Topsoil.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Do you remember how cold it got this winter? Well, it was a chilly one. And if you notice the cold air pouring through those old leaky windows, well, guess what? When it gets hot this summer, the exact opposite is going to happen. All that cool air is going to escape through those leaky windows, and that hot air is going to come in. So I'm telling you right now to replace those old windows and keep your house cool this summer with the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs over at Window World. Their windows are one of 2 windows with a good housekeeping seal of approval, a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And right now, Window World is offering 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. So pick up the phone right now and call this number for a free home estimate, 816-799-0820. And they can show you how they are simply the best for less. Remember this phone number, 816-799-0820, or check out the website, windowworld.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB. 800-391-5063 for your free consultation and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
It's Macy's Father's Day sale. Take an extra 25% off great gifts for every dad with your coupon or Macy's card. Or shop Father's Day specials like 40 to 50% off classic styles from INC, Alfani, and more. 25 to 40% off activewear essentials from Adidas, Reebok, and more. And 40% off designer watches. Want more deals? Download the free Macy's app by saying, Alexa, open Macy's now. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Granger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you, with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
If your pubic region was quote-unquote junk, you wouldn't need America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. But it's not. So show some respect with Gillette Intimate. For a gentle and easy shave, Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Mostly sunny and nice today with a high of 85.
Weather brought to you by Indeed. Long days, longer to-do lists? Hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all in one place. Learn more at Indeed.com/credit.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit GetJim.com.
This hour of Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Supplement Superstores with 8 metro locations.
Hey guys, it's Nick. I'm starting every day with 213 Flashpoint, and for the first time in my life, I'm eating healthy and staying away from junk food. Curb your cravings and increase your metabolism with 213 Flashpoint. Check it out at any of the 8 Supplement Superstores locations in the KC metro area.
Chiefs Red Half Hour, every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold.
All right, it's the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Alex Gold, Cody Tap, Kramer with you today. We'll get to whether or not the running back position is actually as solidified as we think at the beginning of this season. We heard Clyde talk yesterday. I saw there was a photo where the undrafted rookie, was getting first-team reps out there, at least it looked like. So we'll talk about the running backs. Isaiah Pacheco coming off an injury. That's in just a few minutes. But Travis Kelce spoke yesterday, and he's had a hell of an offseason. These guys all got to really, I think, have the full Super Bowl offseason experience this go around, because they had the COVID year when they won it, of course, in 2019, 2020. And so whether it was the SNL appearance for Travis, Mahomes doing the Kentucky Derby Riders Up, Met Gala, whatever, it's been an unbelievable
the Royals night on Monday.
Yeah,
doesn't
Kelce
matter.
just threw out the first pitch. But he spoke, and he was asked about his future and how long does he think he can keep playing at this level and really just keep playing football.
Till the wheels fall off, baby. I love this game, man. I know I'm gonna miss it when I'm done playing, but it's I hear you on that, and that's a business decision I'm sure I'll have to make at some point in my life. But for right now, I'm in this building wanting to win football games, man.
Business decision part is because in that same question the reporter asked about, you got all these off the field opportunities. You did SNL. You basically were a semi-host of the ESPYs this past year. He was backstage host, I guess, of the ESPYs this past year. We know there's going to be plenty of opportunities. He signed with a very, very well-known and respected talent agency a couple weeks ago as well. It's just they're one of the best in the business. I think it's CAA. And how long can he, A, keep up this level? B, does he want to play? And I think C, does records matter? Do records matter to him? And I bring that up because when you look at Travis Kelce, 16th postseason touchdown that he got in the Super Bowl, that past Gronk, so he's got the record there. And you add some context to what he's done. 133 postseason receptions, about 1,550 receiving yards just in the postseason. And now only Jerry freaking Rice,
who has every receiver yardage record buried so far deep that you'll never catch him in most of them.
Only that guy has more receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns in the postseason than Travis Kelce. And I wonder if you fast forward, and let's say he's still playing 3 years from now, and he's X amount of yards away from catching Gonzalez in terms of.
And by the way, if you catch Gonzalez, you are literally like 15 yards away from being top 5 all time in receiving yardage.
So,
that'll change a lot as the NFL passes more. But
Kelce's 4th all time, right, among tight ends in receiving yards. He's got 10,344. Gonzalez got 15,127. So he's about 4,700 yards, almost 4,800 yards away.
Which is for him 4 years.
Yep. And if he's close to that, but it takes 5, is he willing? Does he think it's that important to hang on? Is he willing to have a couple years of 800-yard seasons at the end if that's what it takes? And I don't know the answer to that. You know, I think the off-the-field stuff and his brother and the success they're having does complicate. I told you if there was like some dream scenario, I still think him and his brother retire the same year and they both get to go to Canton the same time. I mean, that'd be incredible. The problem is...
It feels like the setup is almost too perfect on that way. They played against each other in the Super Bowl, started this massively successful business venture, and then all of a sudden quit the NFL at the same time?
Now, that unfortunately would mean like next year, because I think Jason Kelce might retire after this season.
I think he might too.
So for the Chiefs' sake, I hope that that's not how it ends up going. But it's remarkable. 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And, you know, you and I, we've had this back and forth for many, many years on this show about Kelce and longevity. Nick and I give you a hard time about you saying Kelce's going to...
So the wheels fall off is how I think he'll play.
You think Kelce will play at 39 and still have 1,200 yards, and we joke about that.
I think if he plays at 39, he will, yes.
Yeah. I question, A, if he'll make it to 37 or 38 in the league to begin with, and then production-wise, because all it takes, I mean, it's not, nobody's rooting for this, but he's played in all these games. He hasn't missed any. He didn't miss a single game last year, but I still thought he was more beat up than ever. At some point, we just know naturally, waking up the next morning after a football game in general, I can't imagine what you feel like. And then doing that at age 36, which is 2 years away, is probably different than Kelce waking up after a hard-fought football game on Monday when he was 27.
I'm sure it is, but also I do think that the one thing we have to talk about with Kelce, which is very difficult, Gold, any of those conversations about the injuries and this and that are more than fair, I think 98% of cases. He is the Jerry Rice level anomaly for his position. No other tight, like he's going to put tight end record stuff that is going to bury everyone. Like he just
if he passes Gonzalez on the receiving yards, that's the one he's far off.
But that's the only one. Every other consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. The next closest guy has 3. He has 7 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons going into this year. A year, I think he'll probably have another 1,000-yard receiving season. By the way, for record books, just so you know, he's not that far off from important ones for the playoffs either. He is only 6 touchdowns away from tying Jerry Rice for the most playoff receiving touchdowns of all time, and he's only 700 yards away from the most receiving yardage. He averages 112 yards per game in the postseason, and he averages a touchdown a game in the postseason. So, based on that math, in like 3 years in the postseason, he'll pass Jerry Rice for all of those. And if he gets a 3rd ring, my God, he's going to be at the mountaintop of not just, we've spent all this time talking about being one of the single greatest tight ends of all time. If he does that, if he passes Jerry Rice in touchdowns, Jerry Rice in receiving yardage in the postseason, passes Tony Gonzalez for receiving yardage, he's going to go down not as the single greatest tight end of all time. He's going to go down as one of the 20 greatest NFL players of all time. He's going to stand alone in a very exclusive category. It won't just be Mahomes entering that conversation. Kelce will be a part of it too, like Montana and Rice are now. Like they'll have a chance to do that together. And I think that has to be an appeal. I know that he qualified a little bit by saying, I might have to make a business decision at some point, but the lead thing of till the wheels fall off is how I actually think he feels.
I'm sure it makes it also a little tougher just to walk away whenever that time comes when you got the best quarterback in football and potentially, he's already got 2 rings. And if he has a 3rd, it's kind of the same thing we've talked about with Andy, where you know how special it is to have the group you have right now. It's not, this is the group that guys dream of if they're in the NFL. You got the best coach in football and the best quarterback, and you're a receiver in that offense. It doesn't get better. Do you want to really, if you still are physically able to do it, and you think you can get another ring or 2, it's got to be very difficult to walk away anyway. If you think that you are, and there's no reason to believe the Chiefs aren't going to be each and every year throughout the rest of Kelce's career, whether it's 1 more year or 4 more years, they're going to be either the favorite or one of the 2 or 3 favorites every single year to go win another ring for the next 4 or 5 years. They just are.
Yeah.
And that's how do you walk away from that? So that'll be the interesting thing to follow.
It's like Reed and Mahomes, and I get it. But if you're Travis Kelce, and Tony Gonzalez left because he sought this so bad. But if you're Travis Kelce, man, you had this really good career, you were getting plenty of yardage, you were having success, and then Mahomes rolls in the door, Gold, and you go from I'm one of the best tight ends in the NFL to I might be the single greatest tight end of all time on one of the single best franchises of all time having one of the single greatest runs of all time. Do you know how hard that is to walk away from? How many Patriots do you remember retiring early? Dude, Wes Welker was out there dragging his legs behind his body to keep playing in the NFL. So, like, it's really hard. That's why we have a hard time with Reed. That's why, like, at some point, depending on what number, because, like, Mahomes ever gets to, like, 5 rings, and he's, like, 39 years old, and we're talking about when he might retire. Dude, it's going to be hard to want to retire at 39 when you got 5 rings. 2 away from the most all-time, second most all-time. It will be hard to want to walk.
To extend it out, though, to make sure to me that we can be sitting here and he's 37 in a couple years and still last year had the most targets on the team. Obviously, Tyreek Hill was out of the equation. They got 4 tight ends.
He's got the most tight ends, targets on the team this year, too.
I'm sure he will, yeah. I mean, he's got 4 tight ends, though, on this roster. I know you don't want to ever limit a guy of his stature, but I would be, knowing that you're also playing in all these postseason games, I would like to see them at times perhaps try to see if they're able to be a little more cautious with that later in his career. Just because he did it last year and in years before doesn't mean that at age 36 in a couple of years that he can do the same thing he did at 32. So I would like them to be cognizant of that in the future. Maybe that's not this year. Maybe it doesn't have to happen this year. Maybe this gets to our bigger conversation about wide receivers and the growth there. That, all right, when Kelce's 35 or 36 in 2 years, that at that point in time, maybe they do have a legitimate number 1 wide receiver, and it's not as all the pressure's not put on him to be the top pass catcher. But he can still be a 1,000-yard tight end, but maybe they actually have a legit number 1 receiver that's that 1,200-yard receiver.
They should start planning.
They don't have that yet, but maybe they will. Maybe Kadarius Toney surprises everybody and plays in 15, 16, 17 games this year. I think the talent's there, but we know, is he able to stay healthy? So that'll come into play, I think, for Kelce. But, he is going to have every opportunity, we know, off the field. But I would argue, Cody, whether that's at 35 or 38, that opportunity is going to be there for him.
Just so you know, the media stuff for sure. Just so you know, Stefon Diggs has shown up to mandatory minicamp.
There's an update after yesterday, after Sean McDermott said he was very concerned. There's a photo of Stefon Diggs on the field today. So, interesting. Weird. What a weird.
There's still something going on there.
Well, obviously.
They can all show up in glad hand and pretend like they're friends, but come on.
Well, I think this was
something's up.
The reason why this was a PR thing, because yesterday, it was a terrible look for Stefon Diggs and the Bills, and then now they're like, can we just get for everybody
just get
involved?
in here and we'll solve this once you're here? Is that what you think happened?
Yeah, a little bit, and for Stefon Diggs to show that he didn't want to be painted. He was getting painted as kind of the bad guy for a little bit yesterday.
Of course he was,
and understandably
because
so.
Because the other people were doing the talking. Josh Allen's like, I effing love that guy. Nothing happens here without him. And McDermott's being like he's concerned. So, yeah, of course Diggs looks
I don't know if Stefon Diggs is being made available to the media today or not. That would be fascinating.
Please.
Nothing would
entertain me more. You talked a little bit about the injury stuff. We found out a surprise injury this last offseason that Isaiah Pacheco had offseason surgery and was apparently dealing with major injuries coming around the time in the Super Bowl and fought through those injuries in order to help them win. But the one thing we haven't really talked about as a result of that is, and the fact that they're keeping Clyde Edwards-Helaire around and Jerick McKinnon is back and they've taken this undrafted guy and they've talked about him a little bit. Should we be planning on a slow start from Isaiah Pacheco?
It's something that's crossed my mind a little bit. I mean, we're so early in the offseason still. You know, you had voluntary workouts. Now we're on to mandatory minicamp, and he hasn't been participating. You know, he had the broken hand and a torn labrum, and it required some surgery this offseason. I think they're just being really cautious with him. But, yeah, it makes me wonder. I think I won't be concerned about what he looks like week 1, 2, 3, unless we get up at camp and we see that he's still limited up in St. Joe. Because right now, ultimately,
it's way too early to be like, when
you're not a rookie, deep down, he's not a rookie anymore. In June, I really don't care who's standing on the sideline and who's not. You know what I mean? I really don't. Obviously, Chris Jones is not even there. They all knew that. He's dealing with a contract thing. It's a little bit different. But it's when we get to St. Joe, our guys not getting reps, who's running with the 1s and 2s, that's when ultimately I think it'll be concerning. But, yeah, it's something to watch, and this is what Andy likes to have depth at running back. We know this, loves to have depth. He feels
they're
like
happy to start whoever is
guys.
available to them at that moment, because they were starting Clyde out of camp last year, even though we can clearly see that Isaiah Pacheco was the better back going into it, because they felt secure in that. I mean, Is there any chance, just out of curiosity, is there any chance Clyde can take that job back?
No. If anybody would get more time, I think they would bump. I would think you would start seeing the undrafted Prince, and you would see Jerick McKinnon get more work and all that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm just asking. Is there a way for him to?
No, he's not. He
get
will never
back
be
in the good graces of the offensive system.
He will never be the primary back in this offense ever again. Talking about,
I think
Clyde.
you have to worry a little bit about a Pacheco slow start, but this probably goes back to our conversation about the running backs and their attempts to try to be like, I'm doing this for the fellow running backs, and Saquon Barkley not showing up. You're like, you can't win this battle, man. You could tell me right now, I'd be like, hey, Cody, bad news. Tomorrow, the Chiefs are getting ready to announce that Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon all won't be ready for the start of the season. Do you think the Chiefs? What do you think the Chiefs will go from? Also, like, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna say I thought that they were like a 31 point per game offense going into the season. All three of those guys, 30. I mean, what do I really think the drop down is here? They'll find other backs. By the way, do you know how many free agent running backs are available right now? A lot. Yeah. They'd have no problem, Kramer, finding one other running back. By the way, I am enjoying the amount of people who think your name, Kramer, is spelled with a C. Is that anyone's name?
I mean, that's a common, I guess.
Yeah,
is it? I've never seen anybody named Kramer.
Kramer in Seinfeld was spelled the same way you spell it with a K, so I don't know where the C, I don't know.
Like they think your name is Kramer, but Kramer, it feels like that's not. Does anyone spell their name that way is what I'm asking.
I feel like
other Kramers.
I mean, there was a former pitcher for the Oakland Athletics maybe 10 years ago. His last name Kramer. So
there's Jim Kramer, the stock guy,
yeah,
or whatever, who's
wrong
90% of the time, by the way. But yeah, that guy.
I mean, I was named after Eric Kramer of the Chicago
Someone started an
Bears.
account where you just fade his.
You should. He's terrible.
You just fade his advice in stock exchange, and you would do better than like the S&P 500. Just do the opposite of him, and you do better than just about every other investor.
He's
on
terrible.
The
There's so many
That's
examples of like he'll give a call or whatever, and just the exact opposite happened a week later. I mean, especially in the last 6 months, he's been horrific. Anyway,
I don't know, man. He's really rich.
Well, good for him.
Something's going pretty well for him.
Well, when you're rich, it certainly means that
everything's above board and you're good to go.
It means that you're always correct on everything.
And
you always give out winning advice and correct advice. Yeah. Someone says if you use voice to text, it spells Kramer's name correctly. Okay. They want you to put need weed money with your Venmo on your car.
So
you're actually more likely to get money that way.
That's true. I do live in Missouri.
Other people who smoke weed would immediately be like, I get it. I get your desire.
I do live close to a dispensary too.
Or you could put, please don't make me sell my feet pics, and then your Venmo, whatever gets the job done.
I need the feet pick fund here.
Oh my God! Now it makes it seem like you're so desperate to buy more feet pics.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
You need
First off, okay, Rex Ryan over here.
That comes off as far too horny for a Venmo request on a windshield.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And I don't know how your girlfriend would feel about that, but probably not great.
Maybe a bumper sticker. That'd be a bumper sticker. That wouldn't be on like the window, I'd say, but that'd be on the bumper sticker.
Sticker's more permanent.
I'll be honest. I was much more concerned. I'd said, I don't know how your girlfriend would feel about that. Because one time on this show,
I remember
I had said to Kramer, I was like, you've been with her a long time.
Your fiance, actually, right?
Yeah, my fiance. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was close.
Yeah, that was like what? That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, because I once tried to say something about Kramer's relationship, only to find out on air they had broken up.
Yeah.
About like 4 months after the fact.
Yeah, you're like, how's your girlfriend? And Kramer's like, yeah, we broke up. And that was like 2.5, 3 years ago.
And then it was weirdly quiet on the show, and I felt super uncomfortable. But now you're in a loving relationship of which someone you're engaged, so everything's fine.
Oh, it's nice, dandy roses. Love it.
We're going to try to get Gold a wife.
What, fiance?
Fiance or a wife this summer. Coming soon this summer.
Hey, you're on the market still. You've how many dates?
Definitely on the market. I had a date last week.
Ooh.
Definitely on the market.
How'd that date go?
I've talked about 3 different times.
Yeah.
Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no.
Yeah, there will not be a second date.
Yeah, that was fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good job on that date.
Nice girl. Just, it is what it is.
Just some other things that are,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a fair way to put it.
Do you think she's listening to this show every day since you guys went on that tape?
No. She works. People work.
Wait, is your fiance listening to this right now?
No, she doesn't know.
Thank God. My wife listens occasionally, so I got to be, you got to toe a line somewhere, but she doesn't listen
will you just tell, now that we're a day removed, will Well, you just tell us, because Kramer, yesterday we were talking about, Cody wouldn't tell us one of his jobs that he had. He claimed he had sex at work once.
What?
Yeah, he said he had sex at work once, and he
First,
wouldn't tell
I said
us.
that thinking that most people would be in this case, like when we talked about car sex. It turns out this is a much less common
He won't tell
occurrence.
us what the job was. I'm not asking for the business name, but he won't tell us what job it was. That's all I'm asking. And why won't you just tell us the job?
Because that's a very private thing to admit.
You on air said that you've had sex at work. I'm asking.
That's when I was working at the concession stand.
We were correct. It was at the baseball game.
That's correct.
Oh,
Not
so-
at a baseball game. I mean,
Well,
the
then how
games
come
weren't happening.
When Dusty brought it up
The games
yesterday,
were over.
Dusty asked you that yesterday, and you said he was
Well,
wrong.
no, he said it was in a baseball dugout. That is not what took place.
So is the
That'd be pretty sweet.
So you were right next to
I've
the
done that.
popcorn and nacho cheese?
Not right next to the... Again, I don't know. I'm not going to describe the logistics of the area.
You're sticking your hand in one of those things, you know?
It's like way too much work. And the hot cheese, God, that'd just be the worst.
I mean, I don't know what type of lubricant you need to use.
Not that.
You know how smelly you would be after that, too?
What, a concession stand or nacho cheese?
Both.
I think he meant the
Very
sex
bad.
with the concession.
Wait, let's establish this since everyone else on this show. Have you had sex in a car, Kramer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a majority. We found out that that's like 80% of people.
We had a poll question.
Gold's a no, but that's like 80% of people.
But again, we got into the nitty gritty on
I
that.
have a truck, so I mean...
We got into logistics on that, though. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that goes back too. Like back when you're like, you're younger and it's like, we can't go back to your house. Your parents live there or their parents live there. Or any of those other things that cause problems during that age.
Yes. So, excellent. Oh, man. Someone says the show is devolving. We talked mostly
We did
Chiefs.
talk quite a bit about Travis Kelce there before and a little bit about Isaiah Pacheco's slow start. So that was like 80% Chiefs. Pretty good.
I think so. All right, coming up next, we will get to what's trending and then back into, you gave us a little update on Stefon Diggs, but we'll talk a bit more about that situation and what Jamar Chase had to say about Patrick Mahomes.
Cody and Gold on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
You talk on the radio.
Yeah.
You're a fanboy.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Trust is a big deal, especially when it comes to your health. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're a man suffering with erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, or other male sexual health issues, there's no better place for you to get treated than Heartland Men's Health. Men trust us because experience and expertise matter. Promenic Partner Practices have treated tens of thousands of men across the nation over the past decade. Our ED treatments are highly effective with success rates well over 90%, and we offer a full range of treatment options that could have you performing like you haven't in years. Plus, if you're like most guys, the low T and growth hormone treatments we offer will give you better sleep, increased energy, improved gains in the gym, and a higher sex drive. This could really change your life. So call us first. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
At Shane Company, we believe everybody is made to shine. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Shining is not for a chosen few. Like a rare gemstone, each one of us was created under just the right set of circumstances. Your moments, your milestones, your love story, all deserve to shine bright. You don't need an occasion or an invitation. You and your life are the event. At Shane Company, we handcraft our jewelry with the greatest care and hand select the most beautiful gemstones so you can shine. So put on a pair of earrings that make your eyes sparkle. Wear diamonds that light up the room. Try on sapphires in every color of the rainbow. Give an heirloom that collects new stories with each generation. We're all made to shine. Shane Company, fine jewelry since 1929.
Use a BetMGM bonus bet to place your next wager on any game in any sport. To receive your bonus bet, simply log into your BetMGM account every Saturday and Wednesday between May 13th and June 21st to bet on any game of your choice. Then add the type of bet on any game to your bet slip and activate your bonus bet. There is no deposit or additional wager required. Want even more BetMGM action? Enjoy the best daily promotions, live betting options, and the all-new signature bets, only at BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Promotion may differ per customer. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years and physically present in Kansas to bet. Existing customers offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Hey, it's Kling. Hy-Vee is your one-stop shop for everything you need to make Dad's special day his best ever, including endless ideas for grab-and-go gifts. Remember those days when the tie was the go-to dad gift? Well, no more. I'd have to say I'd love to see anything for the grill or flat top. Whether he's the master chef or master of the grill, Hy-Vee has a great selection of top-name charcoal grills, gas grills, smokers, rubs, and sauces, grilling tools, and accessories. How about a craft beer six-pack or a nice wine or spirit from Hy-Vee's liquor department? Sounds great to me. Get Dad a gift card so he can get his shopping done in the meat and seafood department. And remember, when you, not your dad, is making that Father's Day dinner, note I said you, we don't want to cook that day. Hy-Vee's Prime Reserve Beef is the only steak good enough to meet your dad's standards. See, I've given you so many good ideas. Just one stop to make this Father's Day great is only at Hy-Vee.
Father's Day is fast approaching, and you're wondering how to make your backyard grill master happy. Well, here's an idea. Go to your local grocer and buy Gates seasoning and use it to marinate your meats and veggies. What better way to top off your grill master's meal than with Gates sauce for that added boost of flavor? Or say Happy Father's Day with the Gates party tray. And if your dad doesn't live here, Gates Barbecue can be purchased online at gatesbbq.com. Gates Barbecue, a Kansas City tradition.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. Consider STP Conventional to save on motor oil for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Get the complete job done at the right price at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Hey, this is Chris Jones, and you're listening to the official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app. What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Well, number one on what's trending, the Royals have lost 7 in a row. They are officially the worst team in baseball. There's no question anymore. The record shows that as well. The Oakland A's have won 7 in a row themselves. So the Royals stuck on 18 wins, and last night they had Jordan Lyles on the mound. It was another situation where they had an early lead for him, and the next half inning, he gave up those runs, and the Royals did not recover. He did retire in the final 14, but he still remains winless. They remain winless whenever he starts. He has now tied a baseball record for most starts without a win to open up a season.
That's pretty bleak, as you can imagine. But I'm looking for ways to support Jordan Lyles going forward because being on the negative end of this is very easy. And it's hard. And they're bad. And look, now they've been more competitive than when they got swept over the 2 series over last week, but still falling short over and over and over again. Very, very frustrating time to be a Royals fan, as you mentioned right now. Next up on What's Trending, the Golden Knights secured their first ever Stanley Cup in just their 6th season as a franchise.
Man, what a run.
With an absolute beatdown in that
fan.
game, 5 last night? Well, technically you are a fan in their entire existence.
From day one.
Have you been to a game?
No, I don't live in Las Vegas.
I don't think you'd be a fan of a team unless you've been to their arena once.
Ooh.
How many games did you watch in the season, regular season?
This year, probably only like bits and pieces of like 6 or 7.
That's more than most people.
Before the postseason. I did watch the Stanley Cup last night as well. The final, they just destroyed Florida. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, they started 6 years ago. Their owner at that time said, we're going to win a championship in the first 6 years. And in year 6,
what a
they won a
weirdly
championship.
specific number for him to mention. And this isn't their first finals, by the way. Again, the NHL really, really, really likes to buoy up its brand new franchise. So the Kraken had a run a couple of years ago as well. It's also why in Kansas City, I so desperately want an expansion team, because while those rules are in place, Kansas City could get an expansion NHL team and almost immediately be in the mix for a Stanley Cup final. The problem is, I feel like more and more we talk about it, the more I feel like both NHL and NBA, Kansas City's further behind the actual chance to get it than I want them to be.
NHL still more likely than NBA. I really believe that. But we know for the NBA, first and foremost, Seattle and Vegas have to get an NBA team first before you can even start to be in the conversation. That has to happen. For hockey, I think, cities that are already offering brand new arenas like Atlanta might be ahead of you. Houston obviously is interesting as well. And we'll see what happens with Phoenix. I just saw that the owner of Kroenke, the owner of the Nuggets and multiple teams, is behind a plan to build a brand new NBA/NHL arena in San Diego. And I think they're going to try to get an NBA or NHL team down in San Diego. And they're going to have a brand new arena, and it's San Diego. And other than the Padres, you'd be the only other sports team in town.
Yeah, because the Chargers left not that long ago. It does make sense, but it also raises the questions about how far down Kansas City is on that list.
Next on What's Trending, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan reportedly recovering from a medical situation. That's what they're phrasing it as. With others assuming daily operations. We know he's been in the headlines, to say the least, the last couple of weeks with the merger with Live Golf, or at least the investment fund behind it, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. But a medical situation, kind of a bizarre deal here, Cody. He's the 4th commissioner in the history of the PGA Tour. But it says Jay Monahan informed the PGA Tour board that he is recuperating from a medical situation. The board fully supports Jay and appreciates everyone respecting his privacy. That's all we know. Really weird. I mean, I don't want to speculate on somebody's health, but really bizarre situation.
Caused himself some health problems due to stress.
I mean, nobody's been hated more in the last 2 weeks than Jay Monahan, and had, I'm sure, more stress in the last 6 months over this
Just
stuff.
imagine the stress you would cause yourself thinking about how the fact you were going to have to announce this after everything you had said.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could change a little bit because he had a big, important job for the part of this merger stuff, and they're going through just the infancy phase of making sure this can get through. So it feels like you kind of want one of the head guys in charge, but one way or the other, we'll find out if he gets better over the next few weeks. Next up on What's Trending, the official trailer is out for the new Netflix series Quarterback. We had announced yesterday they had finally given a date. July 12th is when that's scheduled to come out. Check out the trailer, of course, all across social media. I'll be honest, looks very good. Obviously, Mahomes look like a complete badass, which is not surprising. You see some clips of Mariota, Patrick Mahomes, and Kirk Cousins all spending time with their families, including interviews that include their wives. So maybe get a behind-the-scenes look here on July 12th. The trailer makes Mahomes look incredible. Let's just put it, out of all the people, it makes him look
he is
just like an unstoppable force.
I mean, he's on a show with Mariota and Kirk Cousins. I mean, there's not even any debate about who the better football player is whatsoever. But I think what you said is what I'm most intrigued by. We've seen so many of the mic'd up moments, and like those are cool, and those will be a huge part of the show. But the behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't normally get to see, him off the field, away from the facility, that's the kind of stuff that we don't ever see. We've seen him mic'd up on Super Bowl sidelines 3 different times already in his career. I haven't, we haven't seen the trailer show some stuff, him hanging out with his family and other things. That'll be the stuff that I think will give us a different glimpse, maybe.
Or him sitting there with the personal trainer we heard, or the medical person on staff who spent like hours and hours and hours with him. I just like the idea of like she's on like a cot next to him on a pull-out sofa, and there's just like a massage thing on his ankle. Like, look, man, 24 hours a day. We got to do this thing 24 hours a day until you're better. Because it certainly took a lot of work to get that ankle ready for the Super Bowl. And obviously it was worth it as they won it all.
Lastly, on What's Trending, reminder, next Tuesday, that's the day for the 3rd annual Cody and Gold garage sale, benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. We continue to add new items each and every day. And this year, the auction's bigger than ever. Not only more items, more experiences, but it's better because you can just go to the 610 website, and there's going to be a link. It's already up, as a matter of fact. You can view these items. You'll just go and you can bid right through there. So you're not going to have to deal with DMing us on Twitter or anything. If a lot of
We're sorry for that, but that was the only way we could do it before.
Oh, that was fun.
A lot of you last year, Kramer was part of that. A lot of you last year had said, hey, look, I'd bid more and I would bid on these items if I didn't have to use Twitter, because a lot of people don't use Twitter. Get it? So we're making it easier. Just go to our 610 website, click on the garage sale, and from there you can click on the link which will direct you to the website. You can actually view the items. You can't bid yet, but you can see some of those experiences like a private tour for 10 at the museum conducted by Bob Kendrick, stay and play package, and you can bet with the brand new sports book that will be up there for Prairie Band up north of Topeka, great Firekeeper golf course, and a package there that includes a couple nights, our night hotel stay, greens fees, reserved seats at the sports book, chance to bet with me on a Chiefs Sunday. So we've got that. Cody, you've got some experiences with
me
Kelly's.
and Pete Sweeney going to Kelly's. You'll get some guys. I'm drinking on that tab too. Let's just make that clear. And I'm working on a couple of others as well. But some of the items, like we'll tell you more about these items the day of. But like the Angry Runs t-shirt that Kyle Brandt gave us. Any other Angry Runs t-shirt you'd buy, to be clear, is a knockoff. This is not. It came directly from NFL Network, directly from Kyle Brandt. It is one of a kind. Or you said you're a little bit worried about people buying the Indianapolis Colts football phone. I just want to make it clear, that phone's got that little notch. You know what we're talking about? Little notch in the plastic. You just pop it out with a screwdriver. You put whatever team you want in there. The other side's the NFL logo, so you could just Rob Lowett and support that instead. But I think that people still want a football phone. It's for decoration. I don't think anyone still has a land. Does anyone still have a landline?
I don't know. If anybody doesn't bid,
it should make it my office phone.
If nobody bids on the phone, I think we just make it. We have a phone in here. Whenever we have problems with Roger Goodell.
Honestly, this phone doesn't work. Yeah. Can we just rig the football phone to pick up one line and one line only?
I'll see what I can do.
I would say that, or it just becomes whenever we have a complaint of Roger Goodell and the way the NFL's doing, we just pull out the phone and we make a phone call and we make it happen. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. But yeah, the garage sale is going to be a ton of fun. Someone says they want us to offer up, and we might do this, a Club 610 pass.
Well, there is kind of that opportunity because you can host your own show on 1660 The Score and Close. But yeah, we could put a separate pass up there if somebody wants a Club 610 happy hour experience on a Friday. Individual club passes. Open up the velvet rope.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that people can have a show on 1660 with one of these things?
That's right. It's an experience, Kramer.
That might be coming on right after you, man. We don't know.
Nice.
Kramer normally is on Saturdays over on the Bet 1660. What, 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
9 a.m. to 10. But we will have an experience for you on a mutually agreeable Saturday. You and 3 friends or co-hosts will have a chance to host one show on 1660. We hear all the time. We get texts all the time like, I could do what you guys do. I got plenty of takes.
Great.
Here's your chance.
Good luck.
I'll tell you right now, the very first time you ever host a show and you're like, oh, man, an hour is a lot longer than I was planning. But that happened once. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Danny Parkins who was telling me about somebody. Like they did a contest kind of like the one you entered here. And you got 1 hour. And they had like a stack of stuff. And they burned through it in 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, they're like, what the hell am I supposed to talk about? You're like, we got you, man. Don't worry. Nothing, really. You can talk about someone's dating life or somebody on the text lines say they want to get litty with the boys, Borg or bust.
Oh, Borgs.
You can talk about Borgs. Doesn't really matter. You can talk about anything you want in your life. But an hour-long show and to pop in here on a Friday with us, priceless. I don't know if you put an actual price on it, but priceless.
Most of the experiences are listed as priceless because they involve, again, beers with Bink. So it's like you can't put a price on having beers with Bink. Stuff like that. So a lot of them are priceless. And we're hoping to raise a record amount of money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. We had mentioned earlier, though, that Stefon Diggs is at minicamp for the Bills. Yesterday, the bizarre story, you had Sean McDermott coming out and saying that he was very concerned that Stefon Diggs wasn't there. Then quickly, the agent of Stefon Diggs said, no, he was at the facility.
He was there
that morning. He just didn't go to practice. And like, okay. And then you had Josh Allen's comment about this. And it sounds more and more like there's some relationship type issues within that team.
Oh, I know internally we're working on some things, not football related, but Steph, he's my guy. I love him.
He's talking like a drunk frat bro in that. Man, I love you. I love you, Stefon.
Sean McDermott, I actually think screwed up here.
What did he do?
Without knowing the details, I don't think he should have come out and said he was very concerned. Because
that probably was not
That's
helping.
to me where he messed up. All he had to say is like, "Oh, we're working through some things. That's it. Or, "Oh, we're not worried about it." I'm stunned. He said, "Yeah, I'm very concerned." What?
Well, and then Diggs on Instagram posted stuff that said "Big Chief," and like when you start saying things that clearly could be indicated as, what did it say? Oh, Big Dog. I just letting them people cap. If them lies help you sleep better, tell them Big Dog. Doesn't matter.
Let's let Kramer read that. Let's let Kramer read that instead.
Yeah, it's fine. It makes us all uncomfortable. I'm trying to read it word for word. But when he says it like that, you have to think that it's about that. Like, oh, you're concerned? I'm not concerned. What happened clearly at this point, in my opinion, like if you're making me just, hey, Cody, make an educated guess on how you think this whole situation went down. It didn't end on good terms last year. He walked into this mandatory minicamp, his first time showing up that he had to show up for the facility. He showed up. Him and McDermott still don't get along. He showed up like he was going to report for mandatory minicamp. They got into a verbal disagreement, not maybe a loud one, but like they don't agree on something. Diggs has said, I'm not going to practice today. See you later. All this stuff happened. His agent said, hey, man, you got to go back to work. Goes back to work, but there's still problems. There's still relationship problems there, right? Does anyone think this is solved now because Diggs showed up?
I don't think it's solved, but I still don't believe deep down, if we fast forward week 1, I don't know who the Bills play. Oh, the Bills play the Jets week 1, Monday Night Football. Stefon Diggs is playing wide receiver week 1.
He's going to be a Bill.
Bills. I would be shocked. Anybody else think that Stefon Diggs is not playing week 1 for the Buffalo Bills?
No, yesterday I put it at a 90% chance.
Yeah, I'll put it at it's a 95. I'll even go higher.
Because now he's shown up.
He's there. This will all get sorted out.
Unless he's hurt, that's the only way he would be out of it. He's playing.
He's out. He's out on the field though.
The real question, I guess, at this point now, and we know that this is really hard amongst NFL players anyway, is when these relationships go sour. In the NFL, more often than not, they just kind of stay with the team because it's not easy to get yourself fired from a team. Stefon Diggs, after this year, still has 4 more years remaining on his deal at $27 million, $27 million, $28, and $22. Who are they trading him to? That's age 31 through 34.
Yeah, he's had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, something like that.
From a Chiefs fan perspective, it's great. If teams have infighting, that means the Chiefs haven't had infighting in a very long time. So, and I'm not saying they never have, but it's been a while.
Nobody also speaks to Andy Reid, and it sounds cliche, but the culture they've built and look, winning.
He also keeps it
helps.
in-house when there is a problem.
Yeah, but he's just that he knows how to manage these. Heck, look at Tyreek Hill, who they knew how to kind of manage him, and the second he left down to Miami, not that he's been a problem down there. I'm not making it seem like, but some of the comments, certainly he's been very outspoken. I don't think it's caused issues for the Dolphins as much as it's just kind of been fodder for people in Kansas City.
No, but it was also year 1 where if you already feel like, because it was Ryan Fitzpatrick on a podcast 2 years ago was like, and a couple years, Diggs is going to be a problem. You remember how this happened with Antonio Brown? Ryan Clark had, he was on NFL Network. Antonio Brown was still doing great things. And he had said on the air, I told Mike Tomlin, do not pay that guy. It is going to be a problem. When you pay him, it is going to be an issue. And look, it turns out Antonio Brown had much bigger problems than anything I would assume is going on with Stefon Diggs. But this does happen in the NFL pretty frequently, where these guys get comfortable, they feel like they should have a louder voice, and it starts to become a distraction. It becomes a distraction every damn day. You think that the next time Diggs steps up to a podium, Sean McDermott steps up to a podium, Josh Allen steps up, that they want to keep answering questions about the culture inside their locker room or the relationships amongst the three of them or where the problems started? No, but they're going to get them, which is great if you're a Chiefs fan because you don't care if there's problems there.
Coming up at 12:30, we'll talk some Royals baseball with Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, get his thoughts on what JJ told us yesterday about Vinny Pasquantino and the injury that he's dealing with. And also we'll talk a little bit about Jordan Lyles and just now officially the worst team in baseball, the Kansas City Royals, who have 18 wins. The Oakland A's are the hottest team in baseball right now. And that's why the Royals find themselves
right as they get themselves straight to Vegas.
That boycott last night, which was
cool.
well done by the fans there in Oakland. They were well choreographed with what they did. They had everything timed out and planned what they were going to do when certain batters came up to the plate, all kinds of stuff. But I did want to continue talking about the AFC a little bit. We were just talking about the Buffalo Bills. We know Cincinnati, the number one contender, challenger, I should say, to the Kansas City Chiefs.
The current best rivalry in the NFL.
Yes.
Because they're playing in important games every year. That's why.
Yeah, multiple AFC.
And they hate each other and they talk about
multiple
hating
AFC
each other.
title games. And then you have comments like this. So first of all, Patrick Mahomes, I thought everybody's agreed now that we can have other debates about where he stacks up in history, but right now, should be no question. He's the best quarterback. Even Joe Burrow acknowledged that.
I don't think there's any argument right now. It's Pat. Tell somebody has a better year than he's had. He's the one to knock off.
Okay. Yeah, that's Joe Burrow himself saying that.
Tracks.
Then you got his wide receiver, Jamar Chase, in the locker room, who was asked the same question, said, hey, here's what Joe said. What do you think?
Asked about the number one player in the NFL, with very little hesitation, you said,
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Everybody knows that, yeah. That's easy. MVP.
He said Pat.
Who said Pat?
Joe.
Pat who?
I got no problem with you backing up.
Those
your,
were, we didn't talk about the reporters. You got us. That's how that guy laughed. Terrible.
I got no problem with him saying his guy's the best. He's his wide receiver. I expect that. I hear that. No issue. The end, though, Pat who? And someone's like, well, he was joking. He joking deep down. He knows it's not the truth, but just not a smart thing to say. I see Bobby Stroop, the trainer of Patrick Mahomes, already quote tweeted that same clip and basically said, thank you, because we know this will go on the list of bulletin board material and is in the back of his mind. Making jokes about the guy that's won 2 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs.
And who knows him better than
and
him?
beat you in the AFC title game
together?
Come on.
You know what it is? It's we talk about these clips a lot, like where Skip will say something stupid or not even, like whatever these come up where you're like, there's just no good logic in it. Nobody is like, I think it's hard to argue that Joe Burrow isn't the second best quarterback in the NFL, just so you know. I think you have to lift some weights, right? It's not inarguable. You can certainly try. But I feel like you got to kind of work to not convince yourself that Joe Burrow is the second best guy. But the second they told you that your guy said that it's Joe Burrow, what are you fighting this for? What are you making it weird for? And that's what I don't understand. And you know what it comes down to? These teams, this is why it's the best rivalry in the NFL. These teams genuinely hate each other. The Chiefs are better at hiding it because they try to like little brother them because they're better. You mentioned Cincinnati earlier. Cincinnati's never even won a Super Bowl in their entire franchise's history. For a while, that's kind of how the Chiefs felt a little bit. They had won 1 and it was like forever ago, right? But they have 3 now and 2 in the last 4 years. So you're in different classes, but I think that this genuinely comes from a place of hate. I think Jamar Chase, tuna in a can, and all this stuff, he genuinely hates the Chiefs. And yes, I agree.
I love it.
It is fun. Why wouldn't we want this? This is genuinely a good thing for the sport. This is what I like about it, but it does.
That's why it's not just the AFC title game appearances, but what you just said there. That's the difference. Even when a couple of years ago, when it looked like the Bills were clearly that big challenger, Cody, we didn't have a lot of this stuff going on. That's what's changed. That's what's different about this. You had the on-field stuff, but you didn't have, like, the Bills never really, in fairness, it's because they were only winning in the regular season. The Bills never once beat the Chiefs in the postseason when it mattered most. But you didn't have Stefon Diggs making comments or anything like that. The only thing we know from Stefon Diggs was he was just stood outside the tunnel at Arrowhead and just watched, with his hands on his head, watching the ceremony take place and the celebration take place.
And Joe Burrow's done the exact, or Josh Allen's done the exact opposite. He borderline feels like, you almost feel like sad when he talks about the Chiefs. He's like, oh, they're just so good, man. Like, he seems almost like defeated. Burrow and Jamar Chase, they seem like angry about it. I like that way more from like an entertainment perspective. They seem jealous and bitter and hateful. You're like, cool, way more fun. Way more fun. Especially, by the way, being on this side of it. Because you're like, sucks to suck.
Is there any way Buffalo can surpass Cincy in terms of back being the kind of the Chiefs fan most hated contender here? Because wouldn't it take Buffalo beating the Chiefs in an AFC title game?
Yeah.
And even then when it would be just equal? I mean, Cincinnati has
Would it even
clearly
be equal?
surpassed.
Buffalo has been way less noisy about it. Their fans have been less noisy about it. I mean,
but at minimum, they got to win a playoff. I mean, not that I want to happen, but they got to win a playoff game against the Chiefs for them to have any chance of starting to get in that conversation again.
Sure, to even entertain it. Yeah. How else can we? I mean, at what other point would I even kick them around? I'm telling you, like, look across the NFL, and this goes a lot to like what we talked about. There are only a handful of quarterbacks right now that even have a Super Bowl win. Patrick Mahomes is the only 2-time Super Bowl winner in the NFL as it sits right now. And then there's a whole bunch of quarterbacks who have accomplished essentially nothing. The best they've accomplished is we played in the Super Bowl once. For most of them, it's we played in a title game, a conference title game once. And for some of them, it's like Lamar Jackson, like, I won an MVP, and has done nothing else with it.
I saw.
So he's in an own little category. I don't blame them for hating Mahomes.
I saw someone texted in, and they were saying, they think that Cincinnati's going to fall off.
I think it's more like Buffalo.
But it's, I was going to say, no, I mean, Cincinnati still, while they have everybody intact, they haven't had to pay Chase yet. They haven't, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. All of them are Burrow's contract hasn't kicked in yet because he hasn't got the extension done yet. And even if they get it done this offseason, it won't take place really for another year or two. That's why, no, they're not dropping off anytime. You want to question it once they lose that group of receivers? Okay, we'll see. Buffalo is not even just because of this recent Stefon Diggs thing.
They just seem more likely because they're up against the cap. They've got more overpriced older players.
Well, their division is going to be the toughest division.
Yeah.
Look, Buffalo is going to be a playoff team still. It might still win the division. I told you I think the Jets do, but still very easy to say they can win the division still. I think this is why we're going through the AFC. I still think it's going to be the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills. I think it's the Jets, and then maybe you think it's the Jags. I think maybe it's the Ravens that factor into the conversation a little bit more this particular year. Up next, though, let's talk about the Royals. They now are officially the worst team in baseball, but I want to talk to Vern about where things are at on the trade front and what he thinks of Vinny Pasquantino's future.
Cody and Gold.
Would I rather have my ween slammed in a car door? Or would I rather have my fingernails ripped off with a pair of needle-nose pliers? I don't know. I can't decide.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
Well, I just got back from the Lake of the Ozarks. Another fun weekend with some friends on the water, hanging out, enjoying the sun, wearing sunglasses. And if you guys have been listening for the last 2 years, you know that wasn't always the case for me. I was wearing glasses. I was wearing contacts. I don't do that anymore because of my friends over at Dury Vision undergoing SBK Advanced LASIK. And that's just one of the many benefits of laser vision correction. Improved vision for me. I see way better now without my glasses and contacts. It's safer vision. It's 5 times safer, in fact, than contacts due to infection. Saving some money. I don't buy contacts, glasses, cleaning solution. I don't have to remember to pack it when I go out of town. None of it matters anymore. And I get some time back in the morning. I save a couple minutes every single morning, not dealing with the daily hassle that come with glasses and contacts. It's all because of Dury Vision. And right now, if you're trying to schedule that consultation, which is completely free, you don't even have to go in the office. They're offering virtual consultations over Zoom. Just head to DuryVision.com or give them a call at 913-491-3330 and tell them Gold from 610 sent you.
At Anthony, we get the job done right the first time. That's why these are the technicians Kansas Cityans have trusted for over 70 years. Right now, receive a new AC for as low as $59 a month. From Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
She didn't want to leave her home. And why should she? Virginia's home held a lifetime of memories. It also held the cash equity she needed to pay off some sizable bills, not to mention travel and just enjoy life. Virginia researched all types of loans and programs to cash out her home's equity, but none made any sense in this market. And even though maintenance and upkeep were proving difficult, she still didn't want to sell and move. As luck would have it, she discovered TrueHold, a smarter, faster way to get paid all the value of her home without having to move or refinance. She said, TrueHold paid me top dollar for my home, and I can live here as long as I want. TrueHold takes care of the maintenance, repairs, insurance, and property taxes, while I do what I want, when I want. I've never experienced a smoother transaction. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for at today's best current value without having to move. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. That's TrueHold.com.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Hurry up!
Go away, I'm enjoying my hot shower.
Yeah, we'd all like to. Hot water hog.
That's it, family meeting. We can all enjoy long, steaming, hot showers, even the last in line, which it seems is always me. But go ahead, have that imaginary argument of what you should have said. Take your time. With our new high-efficiency Navien tankless water heater, I'll never take a cold shower again. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com to learn more.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit GetJim.com.
Chiefs coverage on 610 Sports Radio is brought to you by Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling in Belton.
Avoid being known as the hot house this summer with no payments, no interest for 6 months and up to $1,375 in rebates on a new Linux system. Comfort Systems, the hot house remedy. MyComfortSystems.com.
Comfort keeps us what we do. Comfort System is right for you.
Back here on Cody and Gold, we'll get to the random question of the day here in about 12 minutes or so. Kramer filling in for Nick today, producing the show. We'll also get into the reason why I've told you I don't ever buy into these secondary football leagues. They don't last long and not a great start for the XFL financially.
Pretty bad.
Not great. I told you I will not be interested until you tell me those leagues can actually be around for more than 2 years. At that point, then I'll start paying more attention to any of these, whether it's the XFL, the Alliance, or any of these other ones. But let's talk some Royals baseball. Vern, our Royals insider. Josh Vern, of course, you'll hear him a little bit later on today, right before the Royals wrap up a series against the Cincinnati Reds. A couple things with that series we can talk about in a second. But for starters, though, Vern, the Cody and Gold garage sale, I know in the past I think you bid on like a Buck O'Neil frame something.
Autographed lithograph photo.
That's what it was. Yeah. Do you have any suggestions for the garage sale or anything you want to offer up?
I have a bunch of old scorebooks. I don't know if anyone would be interested in the scorebooks from like 2015.
Can we get the scorebook from each of the Lyles starts this year?
No, I need those. I like to keep them during the season in case I want to go back and relive the memories.
Do you? Do you want to do that? Then just start eyeing some other prize you might want in there. You know, there's plenty of Royals stuff, but Vern, I know you have a varied sports interest. Maybe the Verniers want to come down from Michigan and play wiffle ball against the Taps. That's an elite level experience based on that wiffle ball field.
Now, do I get the nephews? And if I got to pick my team, I'll ride with the Verniers. But once my mom gets wind of it, she'll take over, and it'll be her and my sisters, and we'll get rolled.
It'll end up being like a nice family thing versus like you're just trying to assemble the best team of winners.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have tryouts and everything.
I like that idea.
Vern, we've talked about, of course, throughout this season, from the very beginning, where this team has been at and what they are as a baseball team. But now officially, it's the first time we sit here having you on. They are the worst team in baseball.
All right.
That is a fact. How are you holding up? No. Just at this point, we always joke with Cody that, rock bottom, where can it go? I mean, we're not there yet,
It's not getting better.
We're not there yet, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I don't know how it gets better. The way it gets better is Daniel Lynch turns into 2022 Brady Singer, and Brady Singer reverts to 2022 Brady Singer. That's the only way things improve this season. Outside of that, I have no idea how things, because you're going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 of your best relievers. So even when Lynch and Singer perform well, those leads might not be long as the bullpen may cough them up. Offensively, sure, we're going to see improvement from certain hitters, but then we're also going to see regression from others. But I think we all kind of knew at the beginning of the season that the offense would go up and down, that you were hoping for consistency out of Greinke, sure, consistent innings out of Lyles, and then you were looking towards Bubic, Lynch, and Singer, hoping one of them could pull off what we saw last year from Brady. And now Daniel Lynch has looked good. I'm excited to watch him tonight go up against a young, confident Cincinnati Reds lineup. I'm interested to see how Lynch balances not only attacking a formidable opponent, but also balancing the emotions, as I'm sure he's going to be able to feel the pressing, the desire to win, the fearfulness of what's around the corner from the 9 guys playing around him in the lineup, or the 8 guys in the field with him. I've been very impressed with the way that Daniel Lynch has handled his own emotions and dealt with rough moments in his first 3 outings. But now you're going to feel that anxiousness exuding from everyone in that dugout as they try to end this 8-game losing streak. Can he block that out and execute his game plan? Is going to be fun to watch, at least for me.
I think what's crazy about it is like what you're describing, Vern, is kind of like it goes to the stats Sam McDowell had today or Jesse Newell had today about their inability to hit clutch. And right now it feels like the entire team is separated by 2 people. Salvador Perez and Zach Greinke, their house could be on fire as heirlooms burned around them, and Zach could paint a corner, wouldn't matter, right? Salvador, all the distractions, all the losing, nothing affects their individual performance. And it's like you want to start seeing that out of some of these young players, right? Where the club's performance and these other things that are bothering you don't impact your ability to play baseball.
Yeah, especially Lynch and Singer, because they've been around. Singer's been around since 2020, Lynch since 2021. The young hitters, I don't know if I can put that at their feet. Maybe Bobby Witt Jr., if he was a breakout superstar, maybe we would see that. But most, 95% of 98% of big league hitters, ebb and flow throughout their first few seasons in the big leagues. But the point you're making is on point, because watching this team every single night, what they need is, and I just can't get the figure out of my mind of, you guys remember, James Shields, 2013, throws a complete game, turns around on the mound and salutes the bullpen because the bullpen had been picking the team up so often, night in and night out. They weren't getting enough innings for a short stretch because that rotation was pretty good in 2013. But James Shields picked up the team and saluted the bullpen. It allowed everyone to kind of exhale and say, man, he's got it. Right, Salvi's tried to do that over the past few days. He did that in the finale in Baltimore, tying the game up with a home run in the third inning. He did that the other night in the ninth inning, trying to do what he's done so often since coming back from Tommy John surgery, and that is put the whole damn team on his back and carry him to victory. But as we've seen over the past few seasons, that's very tough to do for one hitter to carry an entire squad, but that's what this team needs. They need that calming force, that person to, as Matt Quatrero always says, take the air out. Let some of the pressure out when it comes to these guys. The coaching staff's trying their best, but they can only do so much. Someone out there on the field needs to have that big-time performance to stop this losing streak and hopefully ease some of that pressure.
You mentioned Salvi. I'm guessing you're not surprised by the comments from Matt Quatrero this morning and also JJ Picollo to us and you, I guess, the day prior in regards to the trade noise, or the one report at least when it came to a team calling the Royals and bringing up Salvador Perez, and to hear the team stance is that they're not looking to trade Salvador Perez.
No, not surprised. But that doesn't change anything that I've thought. I don't think it changes what you guys believe. JJ and Q have said what they needed to say.
Right.
Top to bottom, we're shocked that this got out there. These guys have been around the game for decades. They're not shocked that it got out there. Are you kidding me? No. I think they're fine that it got out there. I don't think it was a difficult conversation that they had to have with Salvador Perez. I think the difficult conversation came this offseason when Pedro Grifol goes to the White Sox and Salvi's on following the Royals on Instagram and following the White Sox and all this weird stuff going. That was the difficult conversation. Salvi knows what's going on. For as much as the energy and the endless enthusiasm that all fans see when Salvi's on the field, this guy's seen it all as far as the game is concerned. So I just, listen, I'm not calling anybody a liar. I don't think that conversation with Salvi was all that difficult. And if the right deal comes along, they'll certainly pull the trigger and move him. But I don't know if I don't believe that the right deal will come along. There's just so many obstacles to move him prior to the August 1st deadline because you got to get proper compensation. It can't be viewed as a salary dump, and the only way you're going to get proper compensation is by eating $20 million of the remaining 44. So you need ownership to sign off on that. Then you need Salvi to agree that this clubhouse, this coaching staff, and this city work for me. So, man, the options to me are few around Major League Baseball teams that would part with the type of prospects that the Royals would require, and also it being the type of spot that Salvi would sign off to go to. So maybe this offseason, but to pull all of that off in the next few weeks, the next 7 weeks, I don't see it happening.
Vern, I assume you listened to JJ on with us yesterday in the show. Did you feel as bad about Vinny Pasquantino as we did following that interview?
Yes, I certainly did. Yeah, when the dismount is, but if he undergoes the knife, at least we'll have him healthy next season. Yeah, that's certainly not the landing that you're looking for. But he is right. 31 games below 500, and as we started off saying, it's only going to get worse. The issue is Vinny's one of those guys. Vinny's just such a natural leader, such a natural hitter, that his presence in the lineup, in the dugout, in the clubhouse has the ability to let some of the air out, right? That combination of Salvi and Vinny, okay, those two could maybe carry you to a win once a week. So losing him has just furthered this downward cycle that we're watching right now, and it's painful. I don't know if you guys feel the same way watching them, because maybe it's just I'm getting older, and and they stay the same age. But man, it's not for a lack of trying. It's not for a lack of work. I'm out there every early afternoon watching them put in the work. They want it, especially these young position players that we talk so much about. They just want it so bad, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot, or they end up gripping it too tight in the big spots. It's hard to watch. You feel for them, especially the flight coming back with their dads, and you got to think about how awkward that flight was. So maybe I'm getting soft, but man, it's heartbreaking watching this.
Legitimately, though, Jordan Lyles and the historical trajectory he continues on. He's under contract, we all know, next year as well. I mean, truly, I'm just trying to think. Let's say this
there a solution?
Continues to drag on, and I understand yesterday he retired the final 14 batters. I'm not saying it's always every single one of these outings has always been his fault, but still, it is what it is. You got to win a damn game, and they're not when he starts. And how can you trot him out there next season even?
Well, hopefully hopefully when you do, he's the fifth guy, and we only need him to do what he did last, because he's still on pace to give you 165, 175 innings. And look, he took ownership last night. If you read what Andy Rogers of MLB.com wrote, I give credit to Jordan Lyles. He says, a majority of these 14 losses that I've been a part of, the majority of it is on my shoulders. And I appreciate him saying that. The issue is what we talked about earlier. Zach Greinke's your best starting pitcher, and Greinke on his good days is giving you 5 innings. So it's almost half the game is still yet to be played, and the bullpen is already taxed because everyone else in this rotation has fallen short of expectations. The issue is Jordan Lyles, I don't believe, was signed to be the number 1, the number 2. That he was signed to be the innings eater, and now it's. We view him the same way we do Singer, Lynch, Greinke, anyone, where it's, can you stop the losing streak? Can anybody stop the losing streak? Who's going to step forward? Nobody's been able to do it. Is that all Jordan Lyles' fault? No. It's not going to get any better. I just feel like the numbers are just working against him. Yeah, the home runs are most in Major League Baseball. The ERA is high, but everything across the board stinks to identify one guy and say, well, we can't run him back out there. Man, what? Then who can you? You look towards the AAA team, and Jonathan Heasley has an ERA of 7.7. Max Castillo, he's going to give you, 4 innings?
I want Carlos Hernandez. I want them to just make him a starter again, Vern, because they're at the point of there is 0 to lose. Nothing to lose in finding out if maybe he still is a starter.
Yeah, sure. Again, there are no bad ideas, but I mean, the organization is screaming at you, he ain't got it, right?
Yeah, I mean, JJ told us that yesterday. Essentially told us that yesterday.
Yeah, and JJ was very nice about the way he went about that yesterday, and not trying to be disrespectful, but I don't know if Carlos can lock in for an hour and a half and face 27 hitters and get the job done, and then do it again in 5 days, and then do it again in 5 days. That takes a different kind of focus, and I'm not sure he has that.
Vern, appreciate it as always, man. I'll talk to you tonight. We'll try to get some winners, make some money at least. De La Cruz, excited to see him this series. Of course, he's 0 for 8 out of the gate here, something like that in the series?
Right. The only team in baseball that can stop Ellie De La Cruz, Kansas City
I'll just
Royals.
tell you, Vern, I'm loading up on some bets with him tonight. He's not. This entire series is not going to go by against the worst team in baseball, and he's not going to have a big performance. So tonight, I can already tell you, at least one of the bets is going to involve this young prospect.
Well, I apologize for the answer I gave you on Jordan Lyles, Cody, but it's just everything stinks, and he's just the smelliest. I don't.
Look, champagne's on ice, man. The second he gets the win, it's a party at Cody and Gold.
All right, well, make sure you don't lose my invite because I really want to be there.
There you go. That's Josh Vern, your Royals insider. Again, you'll hear him a little bit later on this evening as the Royals continue their series against the Cincinnati Reds. And the frustration, of course, is understandable across the board. It will be Daniel Lynch on the bump tonight. 7:10 first pitch. Vern's on at 6 this evening. In the meantime, though, let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold, for you, Kramer, over in the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7610. The question I have for you today is about music. There was an announcement yesterday about how AI is affecting everything.
Yeah, it's going to take over the world. Yeah.
And the way this was announced to me was like, would you even appreciate it if you were a fan of this artist? So, Paul McCartney announced yesterday that AI has gotten John Lennon's voice to match, and they are going to produce a new record with a dead guy on it. And so the question I have for you is, are you okay with musicians manipulating this? Because this falls, to me, in the same range as the holograms.
Yeah.
Don't want dead people coming back to life. Don't need that as a part of my entertainment. So I don't need holograms of Al Davis, just the same as I don't need AI-produced records that include Paul McCartney and John Lennon. I don't need it. So I want to know if you're okay with this.
So I'm okay with it. I definitely don't need it, but I'm okay with it. The reason why I'll push back even on the hologram thing, if you've been to Vegas, and I don't think they're still doing it, they had a Michael Jackson experience or whatever show, and it's a hologram, and it's incredible. The show is incredible.
You've been to it?
Yes.
Or you've just seen?
It's at Mandalay Bay, I believe. Yeah, Mandalay Bay. I check if it's still going on, but this was many years ago. So don't knock it.
And you're saying it was, come on.
It was good.
If I didn't get to see him alive, it's over.
It was
I missed
good,
it.
though.
He died, and now it's over. I missed it.
Michael Jackson experience, Vegas. See if it's still going on Mandalay Bay.
I mean, apparently AI Drake has taken the world by storm,
Michael
too.
Jackson 1 is what it was called. Yeah, it looks like it's still going.
Like, this, lay him lay to rest. Like, we don't need this.
Oh, wait. The Cirque du Soleil thing? That came to town. I saw the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil thing.
Yeah, but I think that at one point
there is a hologram at one point.
I'm not saying it's not like he's doing a full-blown concert in a hologram.
I thought you watched a 2-hour Michael Jackson hologram concert.
Like the Tupac thing that they had.
No, not the whole thing. But if
I've actually seen
and that's good, isn't it?
It's a very cool show, but I was more impressed by the acrobatics than Michael Jackson hologram.
But it's still a Cirque show. Anyway.
Yeah.
You get the point. But to answer your exact question, yeah, Kramer was
weird.
going.
I actually did. It was like at the Sprint Center at the time.
Someone says, I didn't know Gold was an MJ fan. Wow. I mean, I can
appreciate one of the greatest musicians of all time.
I can appreciate greatness, no matter what it is.
You don't have to be like LeBron's biggest fan, but you're like pretty cool to watch him play basketball.
Yeah. Someone says they want some AI-generated Sebastian Bach symphonies.
Nobody wants this. Here's the thing I really like. Legitimately, the question I have is anyone asking for this? Are there people pining for new Beatles music that includes John Lennon? It turns out
it's the Beatles, so yes.
It turns out they produced a lot of incredible music. If you want some John Lennon Beatles music, you have a pretty large. I mean, this is suggesting that Dave Grohl is going to be playing a concert at T-Mobile. They're going to have a hologram of Kurt Cobain singing "I Don't Want It."
Oh gosh!
And a new song, by the way, not playing the old good stuff. Kurt Cobain up on stage, and just imagine how much Kurt Cobain would hate that. I just want you to imagine for a minute that some of the people we're going to do this to would have hated that you commercialized putting them into a hologram singing a new song that they had nothing to do with.
Someone's estate wants some money, man.
See, who's getting the money for this?
The estate.
So the estate of the people. So who's getting the money from John Lennon?
I'm assuming that's how this will work, right?
I mean, I hope. I mean, it's AI generated. Honestly, what's next? Are they going to start doing their AI generated of you two guys doing your show? Like, that's next. Just think about it.
That's should have to get really popular for people to start AI.
You guys are one of the two most famous people here in Kansas City.
We're the 17th most popular and highest rated midday show
mid-market
in the country officially.
Is officially to honor that ranking. I just want you to know that I have been sent a request to play in the Sporting KC Media game.
Yes, we're both.
The number on the back of my jersey, 17.
You know what's
we
funny
are the 17th ranked mid-market midday show. I'm going to honor that. I guess Hunter Dozier at this time.
I wish I could pull the audio from a year ago because I played in the Sporting KC Media game with you and Nick last year.
Correct.
And my jersey number was what? 17, and you guys gave me so much bleep for having number 17. It wasn't a reason. It was my roulette number.
I have a reason.
It was my roulette.
That's a weirder reason.
Roulette number. I don't know. Anyway.
If you feel lucky in it, why not?
But we're playing in the Sporting KC Media. We don't know if we're on the same team yet or anything. But you and I, last year, we were on the same Sporting KC Media game team. We were not for the KC Current Media game.
Yeah, we were winners in the Sporting game. We lost my first media game.
2-0 in soccer games. And
you were on the winning Current team.
Shout out Aaron Ladd, team captain. Hopefully he's on our team again.
Nick gave absolutely zero effort in that.
Yeah,
it was a big.
Did you play the full field?
Yeah. By the way, I'm glad it was only 10 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever it was. Exhausted. It's exhausting.
Oh no, I played soccer once in my lifetime. Yeah, it's terrible. It's fun. It's a great way to stay in shape.
I don't want to run that much. That's a lot of running.
That's why you play defense. You don't run during defense.
Yeah, I was playing more midfield defense.
That's what everyone tries to do. It's a bunch of media members. Somebody has to run forward.
Someone's got to be the striker. You look like a striker.
I had a
goal.
shot on goal in the sporting one, and I biffed it. I shot it off to the left.
Yeah, a little young Mbappe over here.
I didn't have an assist.
The issue is finding someone that's willing to play goalie. That's usually the tricky thing.
Yeah, everyone's standing around like, who's putting? I'll play goalie. What do I care?
That's the easiest. That's the
Cody
easiest
better
job.
not be on my team. You better not.
You don't think I can stop a goal? Give me the big mitts.
Oh, I want you to be goalie for the other team now. Yes, hell yes.
Well, if I'm the goalie for the other team, man up and come play some offense. No defense for you. Try to put the ball in the net. You're not taking credit for somebody else scoring for you.
It'll still be
Come
great.
up here and try to score.
I would love to see this.
Well, it's July 12th.
Let it be known.
Is the meeting. We haven't, I guess, officially been approved. We put in our application. I like to think we'll get approved, but
I think it's just kind of an automatic.
Wednesday, July 12th, halftime of the Sporting KC game. I think they're playing Real Salt Lake that day.
I've already been given heads up notice that I think the current one will be in September. So
okay,
put out some feelers on that one as well. I suffered my first media game loss last year. It was devastating. Aaron Ladd is still undefeated in media games.
So am I.
Which is making, but you're 2-0. His is a more impressive
3-0.
Oh, wait, is it only 3-0?
Acted like it. Come on.
Well, I was 2-0 to start, too. Now I'm in my 5 media games.
Soccer? I'm not talking about some kickball media game. That doesn't count. Come on, kickball.
Kickball twice.
Come on.
Soccer 3 times.
They actually had a kickball media game. Where?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The Monarchs. Kickball media game twice.
The Monarchs.
Soccer game 3 times. I am a total of 4-1 in those games. I have a very respectable
With all
record.
due respect to the Monarchs, a kickball media game is not the same as the media game of the actual sport of the team that's hosting it.
No, but they don't. I mean, they can't let media members play a full-blown baseball game. That
Softball's
would be
closer. Wiffle ball. Softball.
Scary.
Wiffle ball would be fun.
Wiffle ball would be fun. I'll talk them into wiffle ball. I don't know. The thing they do for that involves kickball. That's all I can tell you.
Coming up next, though, we're going to head out to Arrowhead. We're going to hear from Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who was out at the Monarch Stadium, the Legends Field, last week for his charity event. He spoke to the media. Also, Jerick McKinnon. You and I were talking about running backs earlier today, and perhaps could Isaiah Pacheco, his recovery from the injuries, take a little bit longer? We're going to hear from both MVS and Jerick McKinnon next.
Cody and Gold.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino. Even though I have a real beef with Nick, tune in to Cody and Gold weekdays starting at 10 o'clock right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
What's up, guys? It's Nick. Trying to get into better shape can be a grind. Sure, there are some days where you're excited and enthusiastic about going to the gym, but there are also a lot of days where you're just not feeling it. A few months ago, I started taking 213 Flashpoint, and it's been a huge help in getting me to fight through those lulls. I start every day with it, and it gives me a nice boost of energy that carries me through the afternoon. Instead of giving you an immediate jolt of energy that fizzles out after an hour or two, 213 Flashpoint provides me a steady stream of energy that keeps me going deep into the day. So when it's 3 o'clock and all I want to do is kick my feet up and relax, I've now got the energy and motivation to head down to the gym and check that workout off my to-do list. There is no such thing as a miracle supplement, but 213 Flashpoint has been an incredibly useful tool that simply helps me get the job done. If you're looking for something to help you push through fatigue and help you accomplish your fitness goals, give 213 Flashpoint a try. Check it out at any of the 8 supplement superstores locations in the KC metro area.
Old friends are priceless. They'll be there when you need them. Just like you count on your old friends at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City to keep your garage door running smooth all summer long. The annual tune-up will find the issues and identify safety concerns. And now get the sizzling hot garage door tune-up for just $89.95. Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, your old friends here since 1927. For same-day service, call 816-221-0072 and schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
This baseball season, I want you to get more thrills out of every AB, and you can do that at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. Right now, new customers can step up to the batter's box with a no-sweat first bet that's good for up to $1,000. Use my promo code. Go to FanDuel.com/CDOT. Sign up, place your first bet, and you get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. You can wager on everything from the money line, hits, to which player is going to lead the league in strikeouts. And with FanDuel's fast payouts, you can get paid the same inning. So swing for the fences with a no-sweat first bet, good for up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. All you need to do is go to FanDuel.com/CDOT to sign up. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball and 610 Sports Radio. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering under Kansas and under agreement with the Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, this is Rex with KC Real Estate Buyers, and I buy houses for cash. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, grab a pencil. I'm going to give you a very important phone number in 40 seconds. I'm a private real estate investor. I live right here in KC, and I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at KC Real Estate Buyers, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind-in-payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000. Or go to rexbuyskc.com. That's rexbuyskc.com, and I look forward to working with you.
At Shane Company, we believe everybody is made to shine. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Shining is not for a chosen few. Like a rare gemstone, each one of us was created under just the right set of circumstances. Your moments, your milestones, your love story, all deserve to shine bright. You don't need an occasion or an invitation. You and your life are the event. At Shane Company, we handcraft our jewelry with the greatest care and hand select the most beautiful gemstones so you can shine. So put on a pair of earrings that make your eyes sparkle. Wear diamonds that light up the room. Try on sapphires in every color of the rainbow. Give an heirloom that collects new stories with each generation. We're all made to shine. Shane Company, fine jewelry since 1929.
Pro Paint Days are here at Lowe's. Now through June 16th, Lowe's MVPs members can start earning 20% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Stock up on top paint brands like our new and exclusive HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Spec Right Pro Interior Paint. Lowe's knows pros. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
If car designers can make cars look like anything, why are there so many boring cars? Why not a car that looks like an ancient sword? Or the future? The sky isn't even the limit at Nissan. Why be boring when you can make a katana blade slice through traffic? That's the Nissan Z. Or something from the future whizzing by. And that's the Aria. Nissan. We design for thrill. 2023 Aria has limited availability. See dealer for financing details.
What's up? It's a Target trend alert. New swim has just arrived and it's sunny weather approved.
If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable.
That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a luxe for less vibe.
Yeah, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
It's sunny weather approved.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Max Motors Studios.
Hey, it's Royals first baseman Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, always live on the free Odyssey app.
One o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Don't you think this is fair? I just told you in the break. I got a message from someone on Facebook, someone I know. They said, "Hey, hope all is well."
Passingly, right? You're not like best friends.
No, not
met?
at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope all is well. I have a friend that is single, and I think you'd make a good couple. Her name is blank. She's 27. She's adorable. Let me know if you're interested. Well, I need to see a photo. I need a photo. I need a photo. You can't just tell me her name.
If you say that back to her, can't you just snoop for it?
Well, I'm going to have to snoop.
Can't you just get on her profile?
I don't want to say yes, and then she connects me with a person, and then I all of a sudden don't act interested. Then it's pretty obvious why I'm not interested. That's just as bad. To me, let's cut to the chase. Versus if all of a sudden you say, yeah, let me connect you to, and then I see then I'm not attracted to the person, and then I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, I don't want to get drinks. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Dude, getting drinks, there's no risk in that. Even if you think
I know
it's
there's
drinks
no
one time.
I know.
I say just do it.
I mean, after two, your eyes get blurry anyways.
Her friends list is like blocked, like a secure. I can't.
Okay, hey, hold on,
I
real
can't
quick.
see the.
Okay,
the girls.
so is this girl? So the person who you know them through. Let me just ask this: the general group of people, women that you know this girl to hang out with.
She's much older. This is much older. This person's much.
How well do you know this person?
I was about to say,
not very well.
I would say, what is the level of attractiveness of all the people she typically hangs out with?
They're not in the same group. She's a friend of someone that I was talking to for a few months back.
I'll be right back. I got to go pick up a garage sale item, and it's downstairs. So either we're sending Kramer or I'm leaving.
Well, we're going to listen to Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Okay, Kramer, why don't you go? I want to listen to Marquez. Can we play that, and then I'll go?
Let's hear what Marquez Valdez-Scantling had to say about this wide receiver room so far this offseason.
Well, first, to wrap up from the softball, how much money you guys got and how just beneficial it was for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. The community coming out and supporting that cause, speaks volume to, what this community does and how much they support our Chiefs. I'm grateful. And then all the guys that came out, I think they had more fun than the fans did. So that was always good as well.
Richie, James, and a couple of these new guys that are to the table along with the rookies, just how do you feel their development's coming into this program? I know it's OTAs and everything, but just what do you see from them just as a veteran?
Yeah, man, Richie's been doing a hell of a job. He's a Florida boy. We're from close to the same area, so high expectations out of him from me. But he's done a great job. Came in and doesn't talk much, just goes to work, learns the plays, and gets after it. Same with a lot of those guys. I mean, pretty much our whole room is getting after it. It's the passing camp, and we're the receivers, so we catch all the passes. And they've been doing a good job learning it. Making some mistakes, but fixing them and keeping it rolling.
There's obviously a lot of hoopla that comes along when you win a Super Bowl. There's so many different events. You've got the ring ceremony tomorrow night. How do you handle it? I mean, how do you kind of, manage your schedule to make sure that you've got football time, you time, and, you can still enjoy the ride?
Hoopla is a funny word. I mean, it's life, man. We're grateful to be in that position. I'd rather have less time because we won a Super Bowl than, free time and not doing anything. So we're grateful for it. It's work, man, and we're grateful to be in that position. We take the time that we need to when we have it, and when we're here to work, we go to work.
Any input on the ring?
I haven't seen it yet, man. So I guess we'll find out tonight.
So last year was all new to you here with this offense. How much better do you feel like at this point to get through mandatory?
Man, I feel as good as I did last year, man. I'm a quick learner. I'm a competitor, so there's nothing that I'm ever going to be afraid of. Obviously, second year in the system is always good, but I feel like I picked it up pretty quick last year as well. So it wasn't really that new to me. After about 2 weeks or so. So I'm just excited for what we can do this year. Last year was great. Won a Super Bowl, but we got to do it all over again. So I'm excited about the new challenge.
Marquez, do you notice anything about this team? Your current champions, the way they go about their business and OTAs, the way you're getting ready for training camp, even the way the coaches handle things, do they try to push you to elevate a little bit? Do they try to get you to stay where you are? I mean, sometimes people are champions and they like the sound of it, and it's a different thing.
I mean, I think it starts with our head man, and he's the same guy every single day, no matter win, lose, draw, Super Bowl, no playoffs, whatever. He's going to be the same person. And his level of standard that he expects us to play at every day is going to stay the same. And I think that's what makes him, the best coach to ever do this thing. And so having a guy like that, lead the show every single day and, never get too high, never get too low. He's always the same guy, standing at practice, making sure everything goes right, making sure we finish, making sure everything is good on our end. I think that's the standard that he holds for us, and it just trickles down to everybody below.
How much do you look back at your playoff performance? You're able to get the yardage and the 2 touchdowns, and kind of say to yourself, okay, I can maybe use this as a launching pad to do even more.
I don't, man. I know I can play football. I know I can play football really well. It's nothing about what happened in the playoffs or in the regular season, man. Just throw me the ball and good things happen, and that's kind of how I've always been. It's never get concerned with the numbers, never get concerned with what happened on this play, man. Just keep going. I believe in myself more than anybody, and I won't ever change. And that starts with my faith, and so I know who I believe in, and that's kind of it.
Last couple. What have you seen from Sky lately?
Just a guy who just wants to keep growing and getting better. Just goes to work, making plays, man. He's a hell of a player. That's why they drafted him in the 2nd round a year ago. And for him to go out and do what he did last year and be kind of thrown in the fire at every position, kick return, punt return, kind of just having to do it all, it just shows that the faith that they have in him as a player, and just him taking that next step and growing as a man, and just understanding, what his responsibilities are now as a 2nd-year guy opposed to a 1st-year guy. You can see him really starting to take those next steps.
Marquez, how do you handle being the old guy in the receiving room compared to when you came in last year and earlier in your career?
I had some pretty good vets when I was the young guy. I got, I think 2 of the best vets to ever teach me about playing receiver, with Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. Just seeing those guys go to work every day, and then having a guy like Aaron when I was, the young guy, seeing, what that looks like, and then now being able to do that, in a different light and be that veteran to those guys, and watching how Pat and Trav go about their business, it's just like I got to be that same guy for the young guys in my room too.
Last one, anyone?
Anybody.
Did you ever get one of Andy Reid's eyebrows? Travis Kelce was talking yesterday about how you got to watch out for when Andy raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, Coach Reid doesn't really have a lot of emotion, and so if you do get some emotion out of Coach Reid, it's like one of those like, ooh, I might have messed up for real. And so it doesn't happen, but I have gotten that before. It was actually in the meeting room, and so that's for another day. But I actually did get it once, and not a good feeling. It's like when you get in trouble by your granddad or something. It's like not a good thing.
There you go. That's MVS talking to the media. And yeah, so the eyebrow raise or whatever from Andy Reid. You don't want to see that. Look,
Andy's definitely like the parent when you're in trouble.
His MVS's description of like your granddad getting upset with you is perfect. That's perfect for probably how a lot of the guys feel about Andy Reid. He did mention Sky Moore a little bit and praised him, just kind of where his development. We're going to hear from Sky Moore in a couple minutes, as a matter of fact. But during that audio of MVS, we mentioned we had some garage sale items, and
they're here.
We thought we were
Kramer went down to get them for me so kindly.
We thought Kramer was going down there just to pick up one piece of art, really amazing art that we've had part of our garage sale before, and this great local artist surprised us. Now we have 2 pieces of art, not just the Satchel Paige, but this. Cody's on the stream holding it up. Patrick Mahomes. What would you say? That's pretty good size too. I don't know what the dimensions are on that, but what would you say?
I don't know, 2 feet by 3 feet, probably.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Anyway,
ballparking it.
So now we have 2 paintings that are part of the Cody and Gold garage sale. Thanks to local artist David Alston.
Yeah, he does a lot of custom work as well. So if you guys are looking for something, he donated one for Buck O'Neil last year. Someone downstairs was like, "What are you going to ask for it in the garage sale?" I told her the price. Our friend Deidre in sale, she bought it. David made us a second one so we could still get one for the garage sale as well. So David's been incredibly generous to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. We figure we had the ones for Buck last year, so why not Satchel Paige, right? We could do all kinds of great Negro League baseball stars. Satchel Paige, very Kansas City.
And
then
Mahomes?
just to give
Come
them
on now.
Mahomes. Come on.
That Satchel Paige is nice.
Would you put this up in your house? Immediately?
I couldn't put it in my living room.
Why
but
not?
If
Fine art.
I wouldn't put it in my living room, but if you have a man cave, perfect. You have an area where you watch games, or you're down in your basement. That's the ideal spot for that.
You can put it there, put some
Or
candles around. It's
honestly,
almost like a
kid's
shrine.
or like a kid's bedroom.
It's incredible.
You can put it a lot of different places.
I think the paint is still fresh.
Well, I smell it. It's good. Yeah.
It's
a good smell.
Wait a second. Do you like the smell of paint?
Back up. How often do you smell paint?
No, it's a good
You just
smell.
huff and glue back
Okay.
here.
That's what that bag is under the seat?
No, but it smells. Cody knows. He made the same comment. It's like, oh, you can smell it. I was like, yeah, it smells good. Much better what it normally smells like in here, Kramer. Normally it smells like chew and sweat and BO.
So Binkley.
I didn't say that. You said
Why
that.
don't you call out your guy
You
like
said
that?
that.
I love Binkley.
Not me.
Man. What did Binkley do to deserve that?
I love Binkley.
Have you asked for a photo officially of this girl?
I have not responded back
I
yet.
think it's okay. Knowing now the circumstances more, I think the way he plays it, Kramer, you tell me if I'm wrong here. I think because you've been single at least more recently than me. I've been single in a million years. I think the response is, hey, I could be interested.
Peel back the curtain here.
Can you, do you know a few more things about
again,
her?
if you're just
Maybe
joining-
a photo or what she does for a living. Offer up several things you'd like to know about.
Well, yeah, again, someone sent me a message, someone who I do know, and they said they have a friend that they think be good to meet. Would you be interested? That's all. I mean, that's the only info I have. I can't just say yes to knowing nothing. And we tried.
You can.
Facebook.
It's just a risk.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Just respond. Say yes. Go on a date. No. Take a chance in your life.
I'm not going to just go on a completely blind date.
Why not? What's the harm?
I would like to see what the person looks like.
It's just one time. It's what Kramer. It's a couple drinks.
I mean,
they can see what I look like very easily.
I mean, you've done not multiple dates, but you've done a date where you had a drink and you didn't, talk after that.
Someone says being described as adorable is not a good sign.
Oh.
Really?
What do you want this person who's just like, what do you want this person to be? She's smoking hot. That's not how she's going to describe her.
Yeah, it's a friend of hers, isn't it?
That's a man's mentality right there, saying,
That's
oh,
what
yeah,
that
yeah,
text is. That's exactly what that text
Never
is.
seen someone sexy. You'd be like, that'd be a weird thing to text somebody about somebody.
No,
right?
I would say, do you have like I would ask about the photo. I would.
I think it's.
I'm gonna say about, do you have any more information or photo? That's what I'm gonna say.
Or you'll take a lot more
What's
information.
she look like?
I have no idea. And flat out, just be like, I need a photo.
Just go on the date. Dude, I'm telling you, there's no risk. Just go on the date. If you get a couple, I'll tell you this much. Agree to go on the date. I will pay for the tab. I will pay for the drinks.
I'll help out.
If you agree to go on the date, I will pay for the drinks. If you think the risk is I got to pay for this date I might not like, I will pay for the drinks.
I'm assuming that this girl, who we don't even know if she's just random. For all I know, she doesn't even know that her friend has messaged me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
That's assuming that she's good with that.
Because that's the only risk in this, in my opinion. Otherwise, you might like them. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
A truly blind date, a risk we're taking.
Hey, you never know. This might be the one.
That's right. I've heard that plenty of times. Anyway,
that sounds
well,
so sad. Oh man,
God damn. Oh, that was rough.
Then we have Jerick McKinnon on hand.
Yeah, let's go hear
Feels
from
like a good time.
Chiefs running back Jerick McKinnon.
Are you still funny?
Just a little bit, yeah. We're still going. We're good. We're good.
How's offseason been treating you, Jerick?
It's been smooth. A lot of work. Just the grind, the normal stuff. Then getting back with the team has been good. Be back with the team and see the guys and, watch the film. Yeah.
How are you feeling physically?
Pretty straight. Last year was a long year. I was fortunate to make it through the whole season, every game. But, those hits definitely take a toll on you going into year 10, older guy. So, the good thing about, being here, the coaching staff, medical staff, everybody's on the same page with, coming up with a plan to make sure, I'm good to go for the season.
Eric, how much consideration did you give to actually maybe leaving Kansas City, and were there other teams interested in what led you back here?
There's a couple other teams. Really, only one other team. Another team kind of was, on a waiver, but it's always somewhere I wanted to be. I said that last year. I felt the same way this year. So, the whole free agency, trying to get things done and get on the same page is always a process. But, fortunately, I was able to come back, and, this is where my heart is, and I'm excited to be here again.
Does everything look different as a champion?
It does. It feels different, too. But, the thing about it is once you get that feeling and the taste of it, you want more. And it's definitely the right team to be on to do that.
You were known, Jared, obviously, for making the sacrifice for the team to not score a touchdown to help you guys seal the game. When people approach you now as a champion, how much does that get brought up in conversations?
Probably every time. Probably every time. But, God is good. God is great. He put me in that moment for a purpose. And, I did what I had to do. So, I'm glad, like you said, I'm glad to be called a champion. We get our rings tomorrow. I'm excited about that, and it's going to be good.
Have you thought that when your career is summed up, you might be most known for that moment?
Yeah, hopefully I can get another moment, but if that's the way it sums up, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Definitely would like to get another Super Bowl. I think that was not the only thing, but that's why we play the game. To get a Super Bowl, not the individual awards, but to hold that trophy at the end and see everybody happy and go through those emotions together after you go through a whole season and training camp of up and down emotions, roller coasters and all that stuff.
Clyde was talking to us yesterday about some FaceTimes that you and Isaiah and him have together, like in the offseason, kind of just sticking together.
Yeah.
And kind of the stuff that you've helped him through some things and stuff. What's it been like to mentor those young players who have kind of been on some different trajectories?
It's been fun because, the thing about it is, when you're young, you want to make it to the NFL and then, you want to do great things and, obviously things of that nature. But everybody has their own course and their own little story and what they go through. And I think that's what makes, everybody's journey that special. So, anything that I can, host out and, relate to those guys that I might have been through to help them get through that and to that next level and just keep playing at a high level, I'm always happy to do so.
Clyde's been through a lot with injuries and his option picked up.
Yep.
He looks like he's always had a great attitude. Everything we've ever been around with. You see the same thing?
Of course, he's definitely a locker room guy. If you go in the locker room or ask anybody on the team, even though he's a younger guy, his character sticks out a lot. He's definitely older than his age, maturity level and things of that nature. So, everything that he's going through, I think he's handled it pretty well. Just to be here and keep grinding and keep stepping forward, speaks on his character, speaks on his athleticism, and then just how much he can hold as a person. That could be a lot on a young guy.
You mentioned year 10, and what Coach Reed last year said, he said you were a dinosaur
Yeah,
at this position.
fossil, yeah.
How much of that plays into your offseason plan? I mean, as far as what the coaches and the training staff, is there a presence that, intention to kind of keep your workload down so you're fresher in the season?
I would definitely say so. Like I said, it's different when you're young. You come in, you seen Pop last year, everything's 100 miles per hour. As you get older, it's like a little different. But like I said, the coaching staff, the medical staff, they've been great these past 3 years that I've been with the Chiefs at coming up with a plan, making sure, I stay healthy. I've been through my injuries and setbacks and things of that nature. And, last year outside of all the great accomplishments, for me, just making it, every game and not missing the game was definitely one of them. And that's credit to the medical staff and the coaching staff.
You anticipate being just ready, full go once day one training camp happens?
Oh, yeah, I'll be full go for sure. Yeah, it's time to go.
What are your hopes for this season for yourself?
Myself, I like to be named team captain again. That was good. But, for me, like I said, as long as you keep, the end goal at mind, the Super Bowl, and, you just maximize the reps, the opportunities, the single individual things that come after that. I'm not really focused on, individual statistics and stuff like that. That'll come along with the opportunities and, the work I put in.
Paneric, Paneric Prince, the free agent in your room, he looks to be a viable pass-catching back, which is something that
Yeah, he's nice. I've seen him on the film. And
what have you seen so far in that regard?
First of all, to be that big and that athletic is definitely rare. I think the first thing I texted the guys was like, who's 34? Like, he's big as hell. And he's moving really fast. But he's been definitely a standout for sure. I know the coaches love him. We love him. I can't wait to see what he does in camp. And then me physically be out there and, give my veteran presence and then just watch him go from there. But it definitely be fun to watch him learn and take that next challenge.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Al.
Going back to the time you came into the NFL, if somebody had told you then, this is what your career is going to be like. You're going to have that knee injury in the middle of it, but you're going to come through on the other side. Did you have taken this? I mean, was this maybe more than what you hoped when you first came into the league?
No, not at all. Maybe on the injury aspect, I never thought I would, tear my ACL and then had to go through a revision and miss 2 years in a row. But the thing about me, my career, my life, when an obstacle presents itself, I've always found a way to overcome. And so on that aspect, no. But as far as like, the multiple injuries, I probably wouldn't say I envisioned all of that. But coming out on the other side, I definitely can see myself doing that.
Three more. Let's go Nick, Blair, and then PJ, okay? Go ahead, Nick.
Jarek, when you get to put that ring on tomorrow, what's that moment going to mean to you with all that you've gone through to get to that point?
Well, I cried at the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna cry tomorrow. But I probably pour me a nice little shot of tequila with my guys, and then have a little shot with the guys. So it'll be smooth.
So just to be clear, no Super Bowl touchdown for a ring. Good trade.
Great trade. I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Jarek, so at this point in your career, what does it mean just that the Chiefs they let you play it out in free agency, but then they ultimately brought you back in?
It just shows where I stand in their minds. How they value me, what they think about me, and being able to come back. Now that Chad gone, I think I'm like the second oldest guy on the team. It's like I said, it's fun. It's always fun to watch the younger guys come in and not know what's going on and watch them learn, go over that learning curve, and then take off from there. That's definitely been probably the most exciting part about being a veteran guy on the team.
What are you gonna wear?
I'm gonna wear tomorrow. You gonna be there?
Well, it's a red carpet, dude.
I got my splat ready. I got it ready. Yeah, I got you.
About show up and see.
So that's Jarek McKinnon talking about the red carpet ceremony as they what he'll be wearing there as he gets ready for the ring ceremony.
Dusty will be there. What's he going to wear?
Dusty will be on the red carpet.
Second red carpet this year. Wow.
They have the red carpet, and then they have their event, which unfortunately the event itself isn't open to the media, but I'm sure we'll see plenty of Instagram photos.
I'd have signed up if it was.
Yeah,
I would have just wanted to see it.
Absolutely. It's weird. It hasn't leaked out or anything, the ring, which is props to them, I guess. But you wonder, every team sometimes has some unique, we know the Chiefs, when they won the ring a couple years ago, inside it had the inscription of the comebacks, basically. What's this year? I don't know. Like, that's what I'm kind of curious to see on the ring. But Jarek McKinnon sounds like basically got the clear that during these offseason mini camps that they're going to let him not work. He's not doing any work. And then he says he'll be ready to go, though.
He got the vet nod.
For training camp, which makes sense. They don't need him to do these mini camps. He knows the offense.
We know what Jarek
McKinnon
McKinnon offers. There's no mystery in it.
He's become a fan favorite, too. He just seems like he's a fun personality. We've had a chance to interview him before. Hopefully we'll get a chance when we're up in St. Joe for camp. He just has a lot of energy. He's fun to talk to. Yep. And obviously, it sounds like he was impressed a little bit with at least the size of Deneric Prince. He said he's big as hell. The undrafted
That is
rookie.
such a genuine response. You know that's exactly how he responded. Like, he's big as hell. That's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's running fast. Like, welcome. Their running back room is good. Like, it's a good fit. Because if Clyde is your third running back, nobody's complaining. It's when Clyde was the lead back where we had these issues, Gold. Nobody's saying Clyde is a bad third running back. Former first-round pick, some skills, knows your offense. Okay. Jarek is the pass catcher. Pacheco is the hammer. And then Prince is let's just find out. Maybe we've got something there, guy. It's kind of like the perfectly designed running back room, in my opinion, just as long as it stays that way.
Coming up next, we'll get to what's trending, and we'll hear from Chiefs now second-year wide receiver Sky Moore after what MVS had to say about what the expectations are for him right here on Cody and Gold.
I got my splat ready.
Cody and Gold.
Gold, I want a new weekly segment for you called The Steam Room.
But you got to do it shirtless.
That's Cody's request.
Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete. For asphalt, concrete, and parking lot maintenance, Gann Asphalt and Concrete. One contractor, all things parking lot. Trusted in Kansas City since 1994. Online at GANNasphalt.com.
This is Royals Hall of Famer Mike Sweeney. The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sport coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. We'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a Royals VIP package and more. To nominate an area high school coach, go to seeyouinthemajorleagues.org/BlueKC.
Old Shawnee Pizza has a Smokin' Wednesday BOGO special. Buy any medium one-topping pizza and get the second medium one-topping pizza free. Call or go online today to ShawneePizza.com to order for pickup, delivery, or eat in. Old Shawnee Pizza, 2 locations, Shawnee and Lenexa.
At Century Roofing, we want to protect your home and your wallet with our spring sale on impact-resistant shingles. Get a Class 3 impact-resistant shingle for the price of a standard shingle, or upgrade to a Class 4 shingle for the price of a premium shingle. Impact-resistant shingles better protect your home against KC storms and can save you money on your homeowner's insurance. It's a win-win. Schedule a free, no-obligation estimate from KC-based and female-owned Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
We're
We're talking with Dr. David Bach, board-certified urologist at Kansas City Urology Care. Doctor, when it comes to prostate cancer, what makes KCUC the best?
KCUC treats more prostate cancer than anyone else in the metro, and for that matter, in this part of the country.
What does that mean for the patient?
As part of cancer care, a patient will need a urologist, a pathologist, a medical oncologist, and a radiation oncologist. We offer specialists, board-certified specialists, in all those areas on site. It's important to a patient because they want the best possible care with the best possible outcomes with the fewest chances of side effects. Without a doubt, Kansas City Urology Care is the expert in prostate cancer therapy.
See the prostate cancer experts. Kansas City Urology Care. At KCUC, you see the best in KC. To make an appointment, visit appointments.kcurology.com.
Pro Paint Days are here at Lowe's. Now through June 16th, Lowe's MVPs members can start earning 20% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Stock up on top paint brands like our new and exclusive HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Spec Right Pro Interior Paint. Lowe's knows pros. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Turn your home into restricted airspace. Tell incoming flights you want them diverted. The new Raid Essentials light trap plugs into the wall and uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. Its 24/7 continuous attraction provides insecticide-free protection that's people and pet friendly. Consider air service interrupted. New Raid Essentials light trap, insecticide-free protection.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you, with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The 610 Sports Radio phone line is brought to you by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. Visit GetJim.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Max Motors. 9 major vehicle brands to choose from. MaxMotors.com.
The Great American Road Trip Sales event going on at all Max Motors dealership locations. Enjoy your summer payment-free for 90 days. Over 30 banks and credit unions offering the lowest interest rates available. Shop 24/7 at MaxMotors.com. Open late. See dealer for details.
What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one on what's trending, well, the Royals have lost 8 in a row. They're in danger for another sweep if the Reds win tonight. The Royals now officially the
Can I
worst
get the Royals on the money line?
and officially the worst team in baseball, Cody, after the Oakland A's continue to win. The A's have won 7 in a row. Another win last night. That's 2 against the Tampa Bay Rays. So the Royals do have the worst win percentage in all of baseball. As far as this evening, you were asking about that. 7:10 first pitch. The Royals slight dogs, -104. The Reds -112. So almost even money. for the Royals, who are dogs tonight. Daniel Lynch.
It's almost even money to take the Reds. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Royals were the favorite 2 games ago until about an hour before first pitch when everybody had bet the other side of it.
The total is 9.5. I'll be on Vern's pregame show giving up a couple bets. I already told you.
One's going to be
Ellie De La Cruz is going to be someone I put some bets on. He hasn't done anything in this series yet. So, to me, he's not going to go this entire series without multiple hits.
Sounds dangerously close to you saying he's due, except
this time around, he's going against the Royals. And he's also the number 2 prospect in baseball. You were saying Jordan Lyles was due for a win. With all due respect to Jordan Lyles, a little bit different.
I'm working on something for that. I'm going to encourage.
They've lost all 14 outings.
Yeah, it's pretty bleak. It's really bleak.
Tying a baseball record.
Next up on What's Trending, the Golden Knights, winners of the Stanley Cup last night in a 9. I didn't know you could score 9 goals. 9-3 rout for the Stanley Cup final. Their first in franchise history. Obviously, they've only been around as an NHL franchise for just 6 seasons, but always good. I feel like, honestly, we used to do this thing, like other sports do it wrong, in my opinion, which is expansion franchises are just essentially behind the 8 ball. They don't make it easy for you. It's harder for you to come into the league and immediately be good. No, let them be as good as anyone else the second they show up there. You know why? You want people and fans to immediately flock to that team. There's going to be Vegas Golden Knight fans for life because they picked up the team when they started. They've already won a championship inside of 6 years. They've already been to 2 Stanley Cup finals inside of 6 years. It'd be the easiest thing ever to just continue your fandom of them. Could you imagine if the Royal or the Kansas City got an NHL franchise and inside of 6 years they were a champion? We'd be hooked for life.
And hooked
for life.
Yeah, and in this case, it's Vegas too, and they put up their pregame show because it's Vegas. They do.
Fantastic.
I haven't been to a game, but we've seen these videos, and it's incredible. I'd love to go to a game. We joke on the show. A lifelong Vegas Golden Knights fan, 6 years. I just bought a T-shirt their first year. That's why.
Big fan over there.
Big fan. I was in Boise.
He does love Vegas.
Yeah, that was part of the reason. I was in Boise. They tried to get us to carry their games when we were at the radio station I was at out there. We did not, but it was their first year in the league. And yes, Cody's point, Vegas. So why not? So yes, I'm a Vegas Golden Knights fan, and I actually was one before they won the Stanley Cup.
Are you willing to quit them if Kansas City gets an NHL?
Hell yes. Absolutely.
That's not a diehard fan over there.
Well, he's only 6 years in.
Let's go Blues.
Yeah. No.
Are you? Remind me again. Are you from St. Louis?
Not from St. Joe. There's a Saint in there.
What's up with the St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis Blues connection?
Are you a Rams fan?
Have you ever lived there? Have you ever lived there?
No, I'm just growing up watching Blues.
I'm sorry,
Cardinals,
man.
Raiders. That's what I did.
I'm sorry.
Raiders makes
And you forgot about that?
Yeah,
Your
Cardinals,
fandom
Raiders.
makes no sense, Kramer. Who's your NBA team? Let me guess. Hold on, wait. Let me guess. Lakers.
No,
No, and more of a hated team. You're the Boston Celtics fan.
No, I'm Chicago Bulls if I were to watch. If I were to watch.
You're close there.
Last time I
I'm the
watched was
Bulls.
Derrick Rose, and after Derrick Rose is gone, I was out.
God, that's one of those if injuries never happened, what if questions.
Sure.
Sucks, Derrick Rose.
Next up on What's Trending, we know the last couple weeks the PGA Tour has been in the news, to say the least, with the merger and the investment fund, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, taking over essentially golf. Well, PGA Tour's Commissioner Jay Monahan recovering from a medical situation. That's all we know right now. No further details provided. Others taking his leadership responsibilities right now. Obviously, wish him the best, but we don't. It's kind of bizarre situation here. I mean, I don't want to speculate too much, but I'm sure the last couple weeks and months have not been easy on this guy. Everybody kind of hates him right now. But really interesting. I know at some point, is he going to fully step aside? Is this kind of part of that? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I still think he did everyone dirty.
Well,
I'm not going to say that. I just don't wish ill health on him.
Yeah.
As a part of that. Next up on What's Trending, the official trailer from Netflix is out for their new series Quarterback, which premieres July 12th. The series heavily features Patrick Mahomes, including in some personal family moments when they're like clearly out at like a pumpkin patch or whatever, based on like the hay and general setup of the carnival games. But then also includes personal moments of Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota, and clearly a lot of sideline audio. You can see Mahomes there in the sideline saying, Mahomes reads it, all right, man, I'm going to pull you out. He's like, no, I'm fine. Don't do it. Like he's getting angry borderline of not wanting to be pulled out of the game after he hurt his ankle. Of course, that's right before Chad Henne goes on a 98-yard touchdown drive. I think it'll be interesting. The trailer looks really good. Series comes out July 12th. I'm interested.
Yeah, I will be watching. It's the middle of July, perfect time to come out. Mahomes is attached to it. Get a glimpse of some of the stuff maybe we haven't seen before. And Netflix, I think, will do a nice job with that. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. We know the Cody and Gold garage sale, though, next Tuesday, benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. If you're watching the video stream, you can see behind Cody, we just got 2 unbelievable paintings dropped off that we're excited to add. One of Satchel Paige, one of Patrick Mahomes. Just 2 more items for our garage sale that's just growing day by day. We're just adding more items, more experiences. You can actually already view the items available for bid up on the 610 website, 610sports.com. You go there, you'll see a link that says Cody and Gold garage sale. Click on that. Within that post, you click on another link, and it'll take you to our auction website, and you can get a little glimpse already of some of the opportunities you'll have next Tuesday. From 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. next Tuesday will be the Cody and Gold garage sale, of course, throughout the entire show. Next Tuesday, 10 to 2, right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Help us raise a bunch of money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum like the last 2 years. We almost doubled ourselves up in year 2. I don't know if we can accomplish that.
My goal, hopefully, I'll be honest, I have a number in mind. I'm hoping we get to 10K.
That's a lot of money for stuff that's just laying around here.
We got to 7K last year, man.
We didn't buy any of this. It's just here. It just exists.
We got to 7,000 last year. I'm shooting. I want to get to 10. I want to get to a nice round number of 10.
I want someone to spend good money on that Cody Tap Rouge jersey, you know? Made by Charlie Hustle. That's a quality
But if
item.
their last name is not Tap, man,
Doesn't matter.
you're limiting your market.
They're supporting Taps in general. You know, our entire family. And this show, as a matter of fact.
There's a lot of great
There's a Clyde Edwards-Helaire signed jersey. People's name who's not Edwards-Helaire will still own it.
Yeah, someone says I should do a promotion for it with Durivision, of course, who I got LASIK through, and find an old pair of glasses and put that in the garage sale. I don't know if I have any, guys.
Dude, I bet they went straight into the trash can.
I threw away those the leftover contacts and glasses. I mean, I can look. Maybe somewhere, but no, I don't wear contacts or glasses. You guys know that. Someone says, can they donate a Monarchs jersey? It's not signed. It's cream, navy, blue pinstripe one. Yeah. We'll type an email in there for you, and we'll maybe communicate. Figure that out. Because here's the thing: even if we
you have
don't
items, we love helping because they all donate to the museum. Anyway.
Even if we don't get your item listed this year, we're doing it next year. So we're always year-round collecting items. We mentioned the Royals had the Chiefs night 2 nights ago. I was there, and so I grabbed a couple of those Chiefs towels they gave away to fans. Those are in the garage sale. Again, you can view the entire list up at 610sports.com. All right, let's go back at the Arrowhead, though. We heard from MVS. We heard from Jerick McKinnon. Now let's hear from second-year wide receiver Sky Moore.
Sky Moore.
We know.
What's going on?
Are you happy to be here?
I'm very happy to be here. You know, just I'm happy to get out of here too, go get my break, and get back for camp.
My apologies. Year 1 to year 2. What are you looking forward to making the biggest jump, and personally and just with the team?
Really just making that next step, just being myself. I'd say last year was a lot of like knowing getting here, knowing the culture, knowing the playbook, and getting a hang of how people do things around here. So now I get to show my natural ability and just show why they drafted me.
So you're excited to go to training camp then?
Yeah, for sure.
Now that you have all of this kind of covered?
Yeah, I feel like I'm having a pretty good offseason. So if I can roll that over in the training camp, I should be on the right path.
How are you getting ready for probably a larger role in the offense? Just how you feel you can be able to present yourself in the best light?
Just doing the same thing I've been doing, just taking it day by day. Just whatever role they want me to do it to the best of my ability and helping the team.
Have you put on more muscle?
A little bit, trying to, but I'm really actually trying to slim down a little bit. I feel like in the off season I start lifting a lot and get that running back build, but I want to stay, at the receiver. So.
What's the learning curve been like for you? And everything thrown at you with the offense early last year. You've been through a whole year and another OTA offseason. You feel like you're better prepared on that side of it? For sure. Definitely,
it was definitely a challenge to say the least. But coming into year 2, I feel like I definitely got the hang of everything. Like I said, like just knowing the playbook, knowing like what Pat likes, what Coach Reed likes, what Coach Nags likes, and just being able to be a Chiefs receiver versus being, the rookie.
Are you working on the finer things like route running or pass game? Like, what exactly did you want to really hone in on that you can improve on?
Yeah, just like all the little. It's hard to explain, but like all the little things like that really Pat wants. Like coming out of breaks or when to look or when to be there or what speed to run it at. Like the little like details of being a receiver. So I felt like I knew what I needed to improve on. Like I found that out late, like early in the season last year, and I've been waiting on offseason for a long time because I knew what to correct. And
You mentioned that, and there was an example yesterday where Pat had like a submarine sidearm pass to you that was like about knee high and everything. You make the catch in stride. Was that a play you could have made last year?
I forget which one you're talking about, but
There's a couple of them, I know.
yeah, but I want to say I feel like I can always make the play, but I feel like this year just we're on the same page. So like I probably knew where to be when he threw it, and you know he throws no looks all the time. So me keeping my same speed and keeping the play alive, like that's probably something I built on top of my game for this year versus last year.
The what Pat wants subject. Like how much do those Texas workouts help in that regard?
Yeah, a lot because you get those. It's not one-on-one, but you get that time to talk. Well, I can run a route and be like, okay, what did you like or what did you not like about that route? Versus like when we're running routes on air, he don't got time to talk to me about that. He got so much on his mind that he's really not worried about me in that specific setting. So I feel like Texas definitely helped me a lot.
What do you think that he needs from you this year,
Patrick? It's really nothing specific. It's just knowing like he can rely on me. You know what I'm saying? Knowing I just want to show him that if you look this way, you won't be mad. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't regret it. I'd say so. Just knowing that I'm gonna be a reliable weapon for him coming up this year.
Does it all look different as a champion? I mean, do you notice? I mean, you're working with champions out there.
Absolutely.
Do you kind of notice there's that feel, that aura, as you guys are all together?
Yeah, I noticed that as soon as I got here, though. I knew I was working with champions as a rookie, but now it's like I am a champion. So like I feel like I molded myself into the culture that was set here. So I feel like I've done a good job in adapting to the culture we got going on.
Guy, along with those lines, being part of winning the championship and the postseason surge you kind of had, Super Bowl, all those things. How much did that send you into the offseason with a little stronger feeling about how you fit?
Yeah, last season I would say it was definitely a roller coaster for me, just as far as my confidence level, and that definitely sent me off on a good high note. So I feel like on top of knowing what to correct and like going off with the Super Bowl and everything we did last year was like the best way to go out into this season.
Super Bowl touchdown or football?
You said, do I have it?
Yeah.
Yep, it's in the living room. Yeah.
Couple more.
What are your personal aspirations for this year?
Just to build on I feel like last year was knowing the playbook and everything. Now I'm gonna give it my best shot, and then next year I worry about personal goals and everything. I just want to give it my best shot this year and do anything the team needs me to do.
Last three, Harold.
Sky, what do you think about Patrick Mahomes being on the Netflix special and where you want it, perchance?
I really didn't even know until they posted something today. So I didn't know he was on the Netflix special. So maybe I'm gonna watch it. See if I'm on there.
What do you think about just the attention that he's gotten?
That's a big time player. So I want to see all the details of his life too. So I'm gonna definitely be tapped in just like y'all will.
Sky, everybody's kind of counting on you and saying that you're going to be this big thing this year. Do you embrace that kind of hype, or do you try to shy away from it and just work?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Like I'm not shying away from it, but I'm definitely gonna just work. I'm not gonna get too high or get too low. Just come to work every day, the same person, and just be ready to get grimy and get to work.
You never want to lose a teammate. Obviously, Juju moved on. What did he mean as far as your growth, and how do you feel like you're going to be a part of replacing some of his production?
Yeah. Me personally, I feel like I came into the best situation with Juju being here, with McCole being here, MVS. I feel like I had the best vets. I got Juju personally. I'm from Pittsburgh, so him being on the Steelers all like my whole high school career. I'm seeing him come into the league, and then he's my teammate. I was always picking his brain and seeing just how to be a pro. So I feel like coming in with him in the locker room was definitely a big plus for me, just to, as a receiver and just as a young man coming in, getting money and fame, and how he did because he came in young. He got a lot of attention, riding his bike and everything. So it was definitely good for me.
All right, thanks guys.
Where is the ring ceremony?
All right, that was Sky Moore out at Arrowhead. Second year, obviously massive year for Sky. He said, he's got to make sure that Patrick basically trusts him, right? He said, quote, what Pat wants, how to run the route, where to be, et cetera, wants to show he can be reliable. If you want to stay on the field, we know it's pretty simple. It's not just Patrick Mahomes, but also Andy Reid. Can they trust you to run the correct routes? We saw that happen a couple times during the season where you could tell after an incomplete pass or whatever, Mahomes would be pointing at him and bargaining, and we know who was wrong in that route. And it was pretty clear that was on Sky Moore. I hope that the little bit in the postseason late, and certainly the Super Bowl touchdown, yes, but more importantly, I would argue in the punt return game, that the confidence hopefully is much higher heading into this season than what it was for a majority of last season after the struggles that he clearly had. It was a rough rookie year for Sky Moore, but the last two games hopefully can propel him going forward. Obviously the Texas workout stuff, and I mean, this is a massive year, it goes without saying, for Sky Moore.
It's a massive year in all of ours belief in what his peak is. Because, look, there's been compliments about Richie James as well at camp from a couple of receivers today, including MVS, who's we heard from earlier. But, like, with Sky, it feels like a lot has to go right for him to take that leap. More than maybe some other guys. But also, I just feel like he, out of all the wide receivers, is a huge unknown. I don't know how much higher he is capable of going, but I wouldn't limit it in my brain too much yet until I actually witness what takes place in this growth. But the fact that it's like, well, I got a little too big because I was weightlifting, so now I got to get smaller because wide receiver is what I want to play, obviously. And if you get too big, maybe you lose some of that speed, and that's got to be a part of it. And all this growth that they're really working on. And they took another wide receiver in the second round, Rashee Rice, anyway. So, like, there is a lot of competition there just to get on the damn field, and a whole lot of competition to take a big step. Richie James, MVS. We know Travis Kelce's a part of that. We just mentioned Rashee Rice is a part. Like, they got a lot of wide receivers that you're competing with.
Thinking of wide receivers outside of Kansas City, a little update on the Stefon Diggs situation. Sean McDermott, revisiting his comments on Stefon Diggs just now, said, quote, let me be clear. Steph did everything he was asked to do. He excused Steph's absence after some conversations pre-practice yesterday. the PR spin. The PR spin there is unbelievable. Now they're covering their ass. Of course, that's what's happening out there in Buffalo.
He's lying. He's a liar. I'm not. It's fine.
He said he was very concerned yesterday, and now today he's like, "Oh, Steph did nothing wrong. Everything he was asked to do, we excused him."
Gold, if you were gone from the show, and we said that it was okay that you were gone from the show, and then I came on this air and said it is very concerning that Alex decided not to come in today. And then I'm like, no, it's fine. I told him he could be gone. He's lying. Coaches lie. I've made this very clear, and I understand that it's part of the job, and I don't judge them every day for doing it. But this is a blatant lie, right? Blatant lie. And not a good one, to be honest.
Here's the follow-up, by the way. Sean McDermott was asked, well, then why did you say you were very concerned yesterday? He said, quote, whenever a player has something going on or who misses practice, that's my sentiment with every player. Okay.
Liar! You're lying. It's fine.
He should never have said he was very concerned yesterday. He should never have said it.
Big misstep.
That's what blew everything up. It blew everything up. Even if it was something that he truly was a little concerned about, he obviously made it way worse. Stefon Diggs was there at practice today. What
and he had to grovel probably today and be like, sorry, I didn't mean it that way, Stefon. I know that we had a disagreement. Because clearly the two of them got in a verbal argument before practice.
And he excused him for practice. Basically,
and he said, fine, don't be here today.
Yep.
If you're going to complain about this, don't be here today. It's like talking to little, that's how it went. Clearly that's how it went. And then he said it's concerning that he didn't show up, that he had to leave practice because of the fight. Maybe he excused him, but not in the way he's making it sound.
He went on to say he's not going to answer the cause of the discussions and potential tensions from late last year.
Ooh, God. Dude, if Stefon is still burning hot from arguments from last February?
That's ridiculous.
It's been 4 months. Dude, you got to let that go.
He's keeping his receipts.
4 months? That's a long time to hold a grudge, in my opinion, for a sports thing. Like, look, I mean, somebody, the girlfriend or something, you can hold longer than 4 months if you want, fine. But this
an entire lifetime, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? You may never let that one go, and cool, we get it. But, like, I mean, it's football.
So the Stefon Diggs thing is fun. I mean, it's kind of over. I mean, it's obviously they have to work into it, but we're not going to hear anything more about it publicly. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They're done with, they calm the PR waters there, but everybody's been keeping a close eye on in the season. Like, we probably won't even, nothing's going to happen the rest of the offseason with it.
I'll talk to you in like November. Something little some little chippy comment from Stefon Diggs in a postgame, I'm immediately going to assume that is about Sean McDermott. Because if he's holding on to it this long, he's going to keep holding on.
He went on to say they're now in a great spot after further talks, and he wants to keep all the conversations internal. I bet you do. I bet you do.
You know, you could have done that yesterday, man. You're the guy in charge.
Thanks to Kramer producing the show today. He's producing the show the rest of the week
Look
as
for
well.
his car with a Venmo handle on it.
Yeah.
Kramer, what's your Venmo handle?
It's going to say needs weed money, and it's going to say at Kramer
Sanson.
Okay. You can also just send him money right now if you want.
If you want to, go for it.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that. I can't say that. Sorry.
You can't say that? Why can't you say that?
I don't know. I just want to cover my
We've said that so many times on this show.
I didn't know.
I think you can just say it. Give Kramer money. Kramer-Sanson. They don't pay him enough here anyway. What? I can say that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Man.
No, Odyssey's the perfect company who pays everyone fairly.
We'll be back at it tomorrow. C-Dot's coming up next.
Cody and Gold.